Okay, kids.
What's going on, guys? This is a real session of Lord of the Caliber. This is not trying to plug the Interplanar Crossroads. We actually today really are back for the next episode of Lord of the Caliber. As always, if you're liking what you're seeing, be sure to like and subscribe. And we're joined by around 50% of the Inn of Planar Crossroads. Kane and Colin and Adam, all three, are here with us, throwing dice around and stuff. Be sure to check them out. And we're going to dive right in. I'm going to find my D6. Where's my D6? For that in-character reflection for that hero point. First up is...
So I like a D6.
Like a D6! The first up is Van. Pogue, if you would.
And you're both real lucky you're not in arm's reach.
Good.
Man, it's cold out here. It's colder than a Chelish noble's embrace. That's all I got.
Fine. I will be generous and let you have your hero point. I am a generous god. Remember that, kids.
Mm-hmm.
The dice, on the other hand, say Van has to try harder. So I've rolled a 2 twice.
The sinner's hands of an angry. Okay, well we got to get out of this. We either have to get out of here, figure out how to end winter, or we have to turn this palace into the best little whorehouse in the southeast. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. All right, Kane, if you would.
So, are we set out from the palace? I can't quite remember.
You guys had stopped camped in the palace, if I'm remembering correctly.
We have an igloo.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember building an igloo. Several, if I remember correctly. On top of web shelters. It is called Bites Through Even Supernatural Forms of Protection, which is more than a mite concerning. And I'm not so certain how we plan to traverse through this winter wasteland we find ourselves trapped within. I don't know, shit. I think I know I've said this before, but I think we might be fucked.
It's a wonderland, wasteland.
Yeah,
I says you. I don't. We might have Santa Claus's blessing, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to dream of sugar plum fairies and a fucking puppy under the Christmas tree yet.
Hero point. And Kazuha, you're up.
Oof. That was a experience. I'm not sure how I will handle and share this information with Zandu. I know that sometime I will probably have to. But for now we don't do that. Now we must simply survive. I wonder if I can talk them to go back down into the Darklands. It's not cold there. He would actually say that last part out loud. To himself, mainly.
Fair enough, take that hero point. Colin, if you would, give us some Zandu. Zandu actually had a big session last time. Zandu was like the one is Zandu and Kazuha, and then everyone else fell in the snow or built igloos.
Well, shit, it would seem the fates are not in my favor. You know, I've apparently been blinking out of reality more and more, and the one chance I get to see my daughter awake, I disappear. By the time I come back, she's already asleep. There's doesn't seem like there's much we can do to end Fimbulwinter or escape the end of the world. I mean, Arundel and Erundil are pretty, they're smart. They know what they're doing, and if they've sort of resigned to their fate of just burning spell books to keep warm, I don't know what help I could be. It's probably best just to spend what's left of my time with those I care about.
Fair enough. Take that hero point, my friend, and I think, is that... No, we haven't heard everybody yet. We already did 2 and 6, and 5, and 5, and 5. Man, really we gotta hear some Kane. We need all the Kane. That's what the RNG is saying.
Have Anthony gone yet?
Neither of you?
I will go.
No, Joe will go. I will call the shots, Donald. You are the player. And I have rolled a 1, and that is for Enderling Madsen.
This is for me. Listen. Enderling has accepted there's no going back. I will die. I've survived this long. Longer than most other people. I imagine I've been chosen for a glorious death. I will hopefully meet that death on the battlefield and not here in this stupid igloo, though for now, I imagine if I wish to get stronger, I must do something about that. The dragon over there, it can rebuild itself, right? It's a strong enough opponent. I will see if I can train with it, i.e. kill it over and over again.
Take your hero point and we'll pass to the dragon's handler is the wrong word. Necromancer Overlord. Donald.
Necromonger.
Overlord would be a nice title.
Fair enough. I'll bear that in mind.
Oh, Van, and all of your
Donald, give us your in-character reflection.
With the end times, she knows if she dies, bad things are going to happen to her. If she does nothing, bad things are going to happen to her. So her only option is to use the time she have left to see if it's possible to end the world cycle somehow. At the very least, doing this will help her keep her sanity. She's going to die from the cold, from her enemy, or the rat that is going to kill her. So she's damned either way. And also hell as well. So damned if I don't, damned if I do, or damned if I don't.
I burped when I was going to say, yeah, you're pretty damned. You're the lawful evil one. But take your hero point nevertheless.
Are they enough for her? This actually brings a sense of comfort. Either way, she is damned. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty, so we left off last time in Kathir, which has been snowed over. You guys have held up in the palace. The palace is devoid of pretty much anything at all forever. Anything that could be eaten or burned or used for food has been taken. You guys have built that igloo. What's your next move, guys?
Zandu, I have an idea. You did tell me at the Necronomicon that you've seen it once.
I do not think he did.
Yeah, I think he told me what the book was, and he just.
She knows he thought about it at least.
I remember.
Yeah, I vaguely remember actually saying that to Lucia at one point or another.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Never mind.
I don't remember when or the context, but it does sound somewhat familiar.
I think the content was you were in the Blue Kobold and you saw a book, and then I told you what it was when you did tell me what the book looked like, or the contents of what it looked like.
So I remember Erundil, right? That's the elf?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I do remember Erundil mentioned it because he said, oh, my Necronomicon told me that you were in it, but I do think Zandu did mention to Lucia that he had seen the Necronomicon somewhere.
Zandu, my idea is with us see what information the book have about Symbol Runter would be a good time for us to use to see if we can learn anything about the situation. Such powerful books usually obtain useful information.
I would like
this
Lucia
at
to make a
times.
knowledge religion check.
So,
So
33.
Okay, so you're totally sure that a book about the Great Old Ones would have nothing to do with the Ulfin end times. Well, that's not entirely true. You would know that, like, if there's a correlation, it's gonna be really, really, really minute. It's gonna be really, like, drawing lines probably but from the Necronomicon to Ulfin mythology to, like, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 other places as well.
Having at least a hint to work on is better than going in blind.
Fair.
So, Lucia, what's up with you in this Necronomicon?
The book, I want to see if it can help us out, try to prevent the end times from happening or even getting it worse.
Yeah, what else?
No offense, Lucia, but Erendil, he is a very intelligent alchemist.
I'm re-rolling now.
Well,
Oh.
I am being honest to any Poe. The reason why I want to have a look at it is the world is going to end.
So hang on. Donald, I don't mean to interrupt you, brother, but I see that Van has rolled a natural 1 on a sense motive check.
And I said I re-rolled it.
But what was the sense motive check for?
See, because she's like, oh, I just want to see what's, thanks. But she's like, I just want to see what the Necronomicon can help us out. It's like, yeah, right.
Well, I am being honest with
But
you.
what else?
But what else?
Well, what I want is to see if the book have any hints how to save us from the end times, or any hints like that. And that is
Roll
it.
your bluff. Roll your bluff.
I am being honest, so I don't need to bluff. If I'm saying I'm being honest, I'm being honest.
Okay.
We'll see. The GM will remember this when you try to take the Necronomicon for yourself.
To be clear with, the Necronomicon is a bit of a misleading name. It's not necessarily very necromancery in traditional lore, so that
It is just a
great old one-y than necromancery.
It is just a book that obtains information. So such books obtain important information. So having hints to work on is better than going in blind. As I said, I'm being honest about my intention here.
Well, either way, Erendil is very smart, and he seems to have given up hope altogether. So if you're welcome to take a look. I mean, the more eyes, the better, I suppose. But
Yeah, I'd rather go in.
although I'm not sure if he'll let you see it, that'll be up to him.
If it's me, you, and most of the party here, we can make a convincing argument to have a look at it, with his supervision, of course.
Oh, I thought you meant like his amazing vision, not his.
He'll use his true seeing to make sure that you guys
Yeah.
can see everything.
I'm an alchemist in 2020 all the way down.
Wasn't there an Ifrit that had promised that she was never going to see the Necronomicon?
That's not the Necronomicon, that's the
That's
Libris
the
Mortis.
Libris Mortis, Necronomicon,
okay.
and other undead themed books. Those are all different that have different names.
Got it.
Yeah, this one's from
that's where I
Evil
think
Dead.
the confusion is.
Yeah,
the
Libris-
Necronomicon actually doesn't really help with raising dead all that much. It's more about the old ones. Whereas the Libris Mortis is about raising dead.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
I don't hear anybody.
Oh, you hear you.
Damn it, Colin.
Damn it, Colin.
The Necronomicon.
Colin.
Colin!
I know the password to that one.
I'm back. My internet crapped out on me.
You did it.
All right, you having a sim stroke?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
I'm so confused.
Flabby-doo.
We're not
Trying
sure
to
what's
form-
going at him. He's muted himself now to hide his shame.
No, I was saying Klaatu, Verata, and then purposely messing up the next one.
Oh, he's being a Cthulhu.
Okay.
That makes more sense. We shouldn't be so mean to him.
Except that
He wasn't
comes from the
having a
day the
stroke in
Earth stood
Somalian.
still.
Simlish, that's it.
So, what does everybody else do?
And then he wants to fight your dragon.
I mean, I wanted to return to Urindil. I had a little bit of an experiment I wanted to run, but
Okay. So
That is,
I hear one
Hey,
vote for
what?
Fight Club and one vote for going to the Burning Library.
Yeah.
Why go to Erendil? Erendil is much nicer.
Well, if you're going to one, you're going to the other, aren't you?
yeah.
Only because they're in the same room. I like the little one better.
Yes, what that
As
koala's
do
not
I,
gonna help you.
But he's not much help, unfortunately.
I
Although,
don't know. I think I have a suspicion. I think when you get on the good side of the little one, you are secretly getting on the subconscious and good side of the not nice one.
And Zandu would
Think-
know that there's a connection between the two of them. So like
Yes.
that tracks.
I don't know how much he would have severed that connection, but it's possible.
And I don't know how much of a better side we're going to get out of Irindel. We may already be on his good side.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know what a familiar is. I'm walking around with one.
Yeah,
If-
it's more like a part of him part of his personality that he put into a little stuffed thing.
Is it
So it's a gross
homunculus?
familiar, but it's still a familiar.
So he said, no more Mr. Nice Guy. He took out the nice guy part and he put it in the little thing. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, right,
yes.
inside.
Pretty much.
That is effectively, he took a part of him and put it into the creature.
Yeah, he's a little build of a shonen.
I don't know what a Bishonen is, but all right.
It's a bear.
Oh.
Build a bear. He's built his own American Girl.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess I won't call it the elephant in the room, but the question in the room is, Donald, are you gonna let Joe beat up on your dragon?
As long as Joe promised not to kill my dragon, he can fight it.
I don't
for training
believe-
purposes.
I don't
Yeah, I don't
believe that
think he
Enterling
can.
possesses the means. Speaking of Enterling,
Did I-
at some
did I
point,
just have
my
to
friend,
bless the crap out of it?
you gotta give me a paladin code for tier at some
Oh,
point.
yeah, I will.
Not necessarily today, but at some point. Also, yeah, I don't even. What is the kill condition on a bloody skeleton?
You have to, like, douse it in holy water. Or
You
concentrate or
you to kill it, you have to get it down to 0 hit points. Use positive energy to kill it, or any holy means.
Yeah, I
to
can
kill it.
do that. It's just
Oh right, I keep forgetting you have a dip of paladin.
Yeah, he can
I
lay.
have
He
two
can
tips about
lay
it.
on hands on it. Fair enough. Okay.
but I won't lay on hands.
Now
on it,
we
even
know.
though that
Don't
would be
kill it.
effective.
As long
Lay
as
on
you
hands, won't
promise,
kill.
as long as you don't kill it, you can practice fighting with it.
And so Enterling does. We don't necessarily have to make it mechanical unless both of you are just bound and determined to turn this session into Fight Club. In which case,
No, I'm
I
not
can't
bound and
stop you.
determined. I'm bound and determined to RP what my character would do, which is he's been thinking about it for a while now. It's like that thing can't technically die unless I use my lay on hands on it. So I'm gonna kick its ass over and over again.
And I both respect the fact that you are role-playing your character and respect that we're not doing what we did with Donkat so long ago.
I am perfectly fine letting my dragon have his fill of combat. He have been out of the Darkland for some time, and he haven't fought anything, so he is itching for a bit of a practice fight.
Isn't he also mindless?
No, he is sentient.
Yeah, because we house ruled and finagled a bunch of things, so Donald would have something he didn't have to use control undead on, or command undead on, and then turn on him. so it has a devil's soul. We should have role-played it out on camera. I don't remember.
It was just to make sure that the only evil person in the party had a friend.
Yeah.
Kazaha would maybe join in on this to keep his mind off of the cold.
Fair enough. So I hear Xandu wants
One at a time.
One at a time? Okay, we can see who can take it down the fastest. That's the contest.
It's gonna be Captain Strength Score.
Captain Strength Score!
And then he wins the one where who takes it down the fastest, and then Kazaha tries to see who can who can take the least amount of hits from it. Who it hits the least. They got that thing going on, maybe.
Alright, sure. So while that's happening, does anyone other than Xandu want to go to the Blue Kobold?
I'm really not sure
Lucia.
what my next move is. There might at least be something interesting in the Blue Kobold. I'm not really interested in taking apart that dragon, as much as I dislike it.
It's good fun.
At the very least, is a very effective guard dog, bodyguard type of servant.
We know what
tracks.
Poke would be doing to keep his mind off the cold. Unfortunately, it's distasteful to be doing that with the undead, so he's going to pass.
God, keep that. Don't do that in my igloo, you filthy little munchkin.
Yeah, filthy little munchkin.
Yeah, they have to build Pogue a safety shack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to beat.
No, not that.
Alright, kids. Leave the Calistrian alone. Xandu wants to go to the Blue Kobold. Kazaha and Enterling are dancing around with the dragon. Well, one of them's dancing.
We're having a jolly chance.
Kazaha's dancing.
Dance of an ass kicking.
Kazaha dances as he fights.
While he dances. Yo, dog, I heard you like dances.
Yeah, they're just slogging through him. I mean, we're probably gonna have to wait because 3 hits, that dragon's probably down. Sorry, friend. We'll have to wait a little while.
Based upon the amount of damage that
Donald is offended that you think you can kill it in 3 attacks.
Based upon the amount of damage and DR it could survive 3 or 4 attacks and be up still.
All right, boys, you're both pretty. I will take you both to the prom. Xandu's going to the Blue Kobold.
Lucia and anyone else, she wouldn't mind them accompanying to the Blue Kobold.
All right, so the only person I haven't heard from is Francis.
Can you not hear me talking?
I heard like you didn't know what your next move was.
Oh,
I got drowned out.
The Blue Kobold might at least have something interesting in it. Like I said, I'm not particularly interested in beating the tar out of this already dead thing.
Fair enough. Okay, so this next part's going to take place in Theater of the Mind. I thought about building the map for it, but Kathir is really messed up right now. Probably.
You got teleport.
Yeah, that too. There's why do I build maps when I have so many full casters in the party? It's just, we ain't going to use this map. I need to go to Absalom. Well, now I need an Absalom map. I hate everything. Regardless, this is probably about 45 minutes, and I'll say that you don't need to make the survival check between Francis and Xandu having already been there. You guys can pick your way through the road of carpets pretty easily, but let me get a perception check from all 3 of the people who've left.
Oh, so are we not teleporting there?
You can, if you'd like. Oh, yeah, you did teleport there last time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Well, if we know our way there pretty well. Like, it'd be convenient to teleport, but
It gets you. You wouldn't have to go through the storm. And you guys definitely, you have to, like, as you're moving through, you are bundled up in, like, layers and layers of blankets and, like, rugs and stuff.
it's a matter of what's more risky. Is it riskier to brave the cold, or is it riskier to risk a mishap?
Don't do it now. I'm going out on foot. I'm tired of debating this.
All right. Xandu will follow along. He's not one to teleport willy-nilly if he doesn't have to.
Willy-nilly. All right. And Lucia's just going to teleport there. No, okay, never mind.
41 perception from Francis.
Alrighty. 19 from Lucia.
I'm used to being cold. I was raised in fantasy Russia.
and live in real life Canada. Cold is just a state of being for you.
You're not incorrect.
Boom.
The last 2
Isn't
weeks
it-
have literally been nothing but heat wave, though. So it's
Yeah. It's really nice in Missouri today. It rained a little bit, but afterwards all the humidity died, and it's super nice out right now. But we're not here to talk about the weather. Lucia and Xandu are unable to see through the snowstorm, but Francis can pick out a woman walking in the snow. You think she's a woman anyway, based on her really, like, slender and lithe build. Her face is wrapped up in a white, like, head wrap that covers everything, but just, like, a slit where her eyes would be so she can see out, and a glaive, like, it kind of rests butt in the snow, kind of, like, on her shoulder. There's a little tassel hanging down, like, wrapping around from it, and you can also see a really ornate-looking bow hanging from her back. She
sounds familiar.
She appears to be looking for someone, but she doesn't see you guys.
Yeah, it does sound real familiar.
I think
It's not here.
I think I know.
Donald does
who-
know. Lucia does not see. Only Francis.
Knows who? Only Francis.
Only Francis.
Only the Irish here in the golden waste.
He sleeps 6 feet above the potatoes.
It feels like some weird ritual, or like some weird potato god's deific obedience.
Hey,
Sleep
man,
6
you gotta
feet above the
Ghostbusters.
potatoes.
You gotta do whatever the fuck you have to keep the English away.
I wouldn't know.
I'll describe it to. Is Lucia with me, or is it just?
Yeah, you've got Lucia and Xandu.
Yeah, just Sandu. Okay. Do you know anything that looks like what the mysterious voice in the sky just described?
By the description, I think I may know the person. So, warning, knowledge local. Would that help?
Not knowledge local. You would be
No, I think I know what it is, but Francis.
you, and by you, it's only Lucia, because Francis and Xandu weren't. Well, they were in the picture. They were just in a different part of the picture at the time. I want to call it a perception check. I think to recall like general knowledge of the campaign. Yeah, that seems right.
He said I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were. This took place like a session or two before the IOPC boys joined.
Okay.
Okay,
So 30.
you got a 30. You definitely recall a TN woman in the prisons of Kathir when you guys were teleported there so long ago. The description sounds exactly like her. Of course, there are more in the world that like would come from a similar temple, have a similar fighting style. But she definitely fits.
All right. Well, it's new and interesting, and it might not kill us. I'm gonna go look at it.
Okay, so to do so would be to move off the carpets. She appears to be moving on top of the snow with no problem.
A question. A question. What is the distance between me and her? I'm thinking of using the message cantrip.
It's not that far. It's like 50 feet. The only reason you guys are having problems seeing is the snowstorm.
Okay, so 50 feet. That would be the maximum range of.
You don't have line of sight to her. You have been described her. You can't target her because you don't know what square she's in. Not to like imply there's a board, but it wouldn't work.
So
Right.
we did determine earlier that this does still count as a favored terrain for me.
Yes.
And since I leave no trail and can't be tracked from it, does that mean I can walk on the snow?
No, good try.
No? Okay. Well, it's worth a shot. I feel like there's a spell that would let me do it, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, it's called snowshoes.
No,
I
is it?
cast snowshoes. Actually, I feel like water walk would also be applicable for this. I feel
I
like
don't know.
I have no idea.
I haven't updated Francis's spell list in a couple days.
Yeah,
Should also
the
look.
water walk lets you walk on any liquid as if it were firm ground, including mud, oil, quicksand, snow, ice, lava.
Snow isn't liquid.
That's super relevant if you have to go back to a volcano. But yeah, water walk would do it.
It doesn't stop you from taking fire damage from the lava, though.
Fair. You just run really fast.
It's like walking on the coals.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I haven't prepped I haven't re-prepped my spells. Would it be admissible to say that I have?
Yeah, that's fine. There's, like, we're tracking them pretty hard in some places, but Kathir's not one of them.
Okay. Then I will cast Water Walk, because ghosting my way through this waist-deep snow is tedious.
Fair enough. Okay. And you move out to her, I assume?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Do you speak Celestial?
Oh, that's a good question.
Xandu does, but he can't go across the snow.
I know Tien and Celestial, so if I was out there, I could talk to the person, but I'm not out
Well, he
there.
didn't ask you, did he? Common, Sylvan, Druidic, Elvish, Terran, and Orin.
So you don't speak Celestial or Tien Min. So the woman sees you. As she does so, she turns around and like spins her glaive over her head to lower it in your direction, then sees it's you. Just about drops her glaive, pulls
I just wave.
pulls down her veil, and she begins trying to say something. It's both over the wind and over the fact that there's a language barrier you're having a lot of problems understanding.
Yeah, he touches his ears and then shakes his head, and he puts his hand out there for her to take it.
Okay. She begins to do so. Yeah, okay. She begins to do so, and then let me get it.
I rolled to disbelieve the illusion.
Okay, make a will save.
Oh, okay. I was joking, but now you got me all Concernicus.
Good.
Concernicus.
Concernicus. 22.
Now I have to make a hypochondriac wizard named Concernicus.
Concernicus. When he
that's just the name of the stuttering janitor.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
He teaches philosophy on
Writing
the
that
side.
down, Kane.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so she's real. But let me. Francis will definitely see this. Xandu and Lucia, it's a different story. Both of you make perception checks.
She's definitely real, and so's the arrow she's gonna lodge in your chest.
Ha ha! Alrighty. Lucia's got that 19. Xandu's got that 7. So Lucy and Xandu are both aware that something happens, but the what is a little different. Francis definitely gets a front row seat to just like before your eyes teleports in. He looks like a Hell Knight, but the red and black has been replaced with Sarenrae's blue and gold, and where you would normally see like pentagrams and like even like the Cheliax's symbol, it's been replaced with Sarenrae's that her Ankh. With him are a pair of surprisingly pale-skinned, given the furs that they wear and the like almost looks like knives made out of deer horns hanging at their waists, at their wrists, at their legs, everywhere. They are really, really, really scarred up. And they kind of like, they stand in front of him. This whole fight's going to be theater of the mind. They stand in front of him, perhaps 10 feet. We've established you don't speak Kensari. He points his finger at the Tien woman, who also sees this. Lucia and Xandu may also roll initiative, but we need to roll initiative.
Okay. Ah!
Oh, want to use that hero point?
Yep.
Fair enough.
Oh, good. A 2.
Hey, that's strictly better.
And my luck with initiative checks continues.
Yep, story of my life. It doesn't matter how big I make any of my initiatives ever. I always just roll real bad.
Nah, B, just use Jedediah's kit. He's got like a plus 24 to
Seems good. I was gonna say he also cheats, but that was partially my fault too.
Inquisitors.
He doesn't cheat anymore, okay? I fixed it.
Inquisitors can have a pretty high initiative if you make them right.
Yeah. Inquisitors seem like a lot of fun. I would like to play an Inquisitor at some point.
As they are a fun class to play if you like that type of character.
I mean, it's not so much in a lot of cases for me whether or not I like the characters so much as like if the combat is super cool. I think the combat would be super cool.
The combat's pretty super cool.
They look-
I mean, you get like a customizable Bane.
Can you Bane on every attack that you make, or is it just like one Bane? So then you just play something with a bite and 2 claws and like tear up for a nature god.
I think it's only 1 weapon, and then you can take a feat to spread it to 2 weapons.
I see. That seems much
One
more
of my
fair.
one of my favorite Inquisitor weapons is the whip. If you focus around the whip feats.
That's fair. All right, so these guys are going to go out in front of Lucia. Well, what's Lucia's dex mod?
It is 1.
Okay, so these guys definitely have 1 to 1. So the Holy Chelish Empire will go first. I think I had music picked out for these guys. We don't necessarily have to listen to the sound of wind as everyone dies horribly. Now that the party is split.
It's okay, I haven't been.
What, split? Dying horribly?
No, listening to the Roll20 music.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, we can use this one. This is what happens in Ogre Battle when the bad guys show up. This is their theme. The first thing that happens is the man raises his hand, and Xandu and Lucia will hear this. They hear, it kind of sounds like Celestial, it kind of sounds like Infernal. Kind of
like what?
Kind of like Celestial, kind of like Infernal. Like, it's like almost like a pigeon of the two. He holds his hand up and incants as he does so. The woman is picked up, like, as if someone had put a hand around her neck. As this happens, a purple aura surrounds the Hell Knight, like what you've seen with men and women who've consumed the fruit of Abaddon and survived. He twists his hand, and as he does so, her neck snaps with a flick of the wrist. Her body and all of her gear flies across what you assume was an open, like, back alley. Arrows go everywhere. Her bow snaps when she lands on it, deader than a doornail. The two...
Well, that was fast.
The 2 Arcadians are going to...
Yeah, Jesus.
The Hell Knight seems to have no problem moving on top of the snow. The Arcadians don't either, and they're going to charge Francis.
Of course.
They're starting out like 30 feet away from you. They move right up to attack.
Yeah.
As they do so, they both draw daggers in each hand, and they both get 1 attack.
Can you draw multiple weapons as part of a move action?
I don't think so. Maybe with quick draw. Anyway, the first attack is a 26 against your flat.
I'm pretty sure that's almost my normal.
Actually, it's a 28 against your flat. He's charging.
Yeah.
And then the second one is that one is a 26 against your flat.
Yeah.
All right, they both connect. So these guys, as they run up to you, you can see the look of just like a man who has given up. You can, around his there are 2 of them. His neck, there was once a pentagram brand that seems to have been like erased out magically, and Saren Rays has been replaced there, as well as like both of his wrists, his chest, which is open and exposed to the elements. He doesn't seem to mind the daggers hit with unerring accuracy, one in your neck, the other in your actually they're both gonna hit like either side of Francis's neck. Yeah, like that flavor. That seems good. Okay. I'm just trying to...
Am I just gonna die right now?
I don't know. I'm flavoring their sneak attack.
Well, apparently you're about to cut my fucking head off.
I'm trying! So, here's the sneak attack damage.
This is the true final episode of
what?
Lord Lake Caliber.
70 sneak attack damage.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's from
I was
two
gonna
of
say,
them.
It fucking might be if you just one round me again.
And then the actual damage is much less, I'm pretty sure. They do move to either side of you as they do this. I don't have a board, so I have to be very descriptive. Then it's 2d4 plus their dex. An additional 21.
Are you alive still?
Yep.
Lucia and
By a
Xandu.
whole lot, though.
Lucia and Xandu both see this, or they hear it. They definitely hear him like cry out, and they hear somebody incant in an infernal celestial. And now it's Lucia's turn.
So, how far do I need to move to be in sight of a line of sight on them?
You have make a perception check. Okay, you see him. You don't like. Yeah, no, you can pick out the square with that perception check. Lucia,
Yeah,
who's a little more on point for what's going on here. It dawns on her, and specifically her, that while you guys were in the Darklands, there's a lot of people looking for you in the world, both for good and for ill, especially in Lucia's case because she's of the Chelish Empire. But you guys have been in a place where you're unscryable. I had you guys make a couple of will saves as soon as you exited the Darklands, and enough people failed that both the good guys and the bad guys are aware of you. The bad guys, by virtue of the dice, have got here first. You don't know the name of that particular Hell Knight, but you definitely know he is one. And the colors of Asmodeus have been replaced with the colors of Sarenrae, and with him are two of his Arcadian slaves, which Lucia knows, especially like these in particular, based on like she can see him like run up and like almost pounce on Francis. These are the preferred shock troops of the Empire. You assume their partners, their children, their family, things of that nature are in some camp somewhere under threat of death if these guys don't fight, and they're nothing if not good at keeping their families alive.
Okay, I'm going to be casting Bone Shaker on one of the Hell Knights flanking Francis.
Okay, so there's one Hell Knight.
So it's just one Hell Knight only?
And two slaves.
There's a Hell Knight and two assassins.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So are the slaves flanking?
They're flanking Francis. That is correct.
Okay, I'm going to aim at the closest one, close to me, but that is also flanking Francis. So
All right.
I
So
need
first
that one to
roll
make-
concentration. You're casting in a snowstorm. What's the level of the spell?
2. So I
that
believe
would not pass.
Okay.
You can use your hero point. You can throw an action point at it.
No, I am saving it.
All right. That's a standard
I'll
action.
throw an
then.
action point at it.
Okay.
I've got like 4 of them.
There you go. Get by with a little help from your friends. Now it passes.
So I need that one to make a fortitude save.
Fort save.
Yes.
Alrighty, here we go. What's my DC?
20.
I have 26.
So take half of this damage, which is probably not a lot.
Fair.
So 15 damage on one.
Alright, understood. He definitely, like, they're aware of you. They turn, they see you. They don't say anything, but Lucia would definitely know that's because they don't do a whole lot of talking. They're pretty broken.
Turn it over.
Alright, Xandu, what's up?
So, excuse me. How far away are we from the blue kobold?
Pretty far. Well, actually. You're a little more than halfway there.
A little more than halfway there. And how long have we been walking through here?
Like I said, about like 30, 45 minutes. Most of the travel, like the time is an issue because of the snowstorm and because like it's a really like slow going, balancing on carpets of flying.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how concentration checks work for psychic casters because you've been running that for me, so I'm a little.
So they are A concentration check for you it's increased by, it's not doubled, it's increased by like 4 or 10 anytime you have to make one for the, I believe, the emotion component. But if you spend a move action to center yourself, it's the same as anybody else's.
Oh, so that works.
I wonder if that will be the bards of Pathfinder 2nd edition. Guess we'll have to see.
One way to find out.
Yeah, we will.
So here's what I'm thinking. You know, Zandu's heard a lot of crazy stuff happening out there. I'm sure he heard Francis cry out pretty bad.
Yeah, also Zandu would, I forget Zandu's importance to the lore as well. You know who the Arcadians are, you know that's a Hell Knight that's taken up Sarenrae's colors.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I see them yet.
Yeah, fair enough. Make a perception check.
Yeah. Probably not gonna be too good.
That's the spirit. You've got this.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, you see him.
So, trying to think who I should go get to help us first.
When in doubt, GTFO.
Well, they obviously killed a potential ally, and they're hurting a ally, so attack them and ask questions later.
No, Zandu, he gets that, but he knows that we're not going to be able to, like, just based on, especially if I see it, how bad Francis is looking.
I did just get stabbed in the neck twice.
Yeah. So, he's thinking that maybe the best idea is to get help, rather than just...
You have 2 people fighting with the dragons. So if you go and get them, then you at least have 3 people. And if they're close enough to Pogue and yell, he can come running too.
Well, if the dragon's still up, Lucy, you could just call the dragon.
I would assume the DC to get the dragon to come where
Is
Lucia
non-existent. Do you have some kind of mental connection with it?
No.
Then yeah, you're 45 minutes away from it, shouting into a snowstorm. Then
The DC, unless if I get a natural 20, it would be out of my ability to call it.
Even then, like, I mean, if you get a natural 20, if there's probably just like some other form of reinforcements come, but there's no like, here Fido, and then Fido just takes off and 45 minutes passes in 6 seconds.
I know the DC to actually yell for help
is real small, but it's real. Yeah. Anyway, regardless, what is
Zandu is going to center himself and then try to teleport to the Blue Kobold Emporium.
All right. We still need that concentration check.
Yes.
DC, what, 25? Yeah. It's not so bad.
Not too bad.
And you do
29.
pass Zandu. Oh, pending. This is not the time for me to roll 100. I rolled a 48. Okay, so you
might.
Hmm?
I don't know. I was thinking he might grab Lucia, but that would be
would you
problematic. That might reveal where everyone else is.
Would you do that?
I can't tell if you're asking or asking with intent to get out of here. Both are fine.
If you're teleporting and want Lucia to come with you, she is going to take the offer to teleport with you.
Well, Colin, choice is yours.
Yeah.
You know, if you do that, you're leaving Francis alone with these guys.
That's why he doesn't want to do that. He wants to leave somebody there to at least help
I'm
pass
pretty
the
sure
time.
I'm dead either way.
So Zandu is going to go to the Blue Kobold Emporium and try to get Erendil's help.
Alrighty, the spell resolves. You arrive at the Kobold.
Oh, you already rolled the D100.
Yeah, and you arrive. Several Arcadian bodies litter the floor in various stages of throats being slit. Explosions definitely track. Arundel is standing on top of what remains of a bookshelf with a little tiny flintlock pistol in each hand, watching the door. Arundel is nowhere to be seen. You almost get brained as you come in. Arundel drops out of invisibility, and there's a hand with a dagger, and it goes to your throat. And just, what are you doing here?
Violence.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Actually, hang on.
What if they stole Amy?
That natural one is Arundel rolling to disbelieve an illusion, and he's natural one. He believes you are not who you are.
Oof.
I feel bad for rolling that natural one.
Is
Well, that's 2 party
well,
members down,
here's the thing.
and we don't know what's
He's,
happening. So the other dudes are gonna come to us at the thing, and it's total party kill.
Does that hit Xandu's flat-footed?
Now the question is, would he even recognize it as Xandu because of the hat of disguise?
I'm not sure why you're arguing for him to kill you.
No, I'm saying like the hat of disguise. Like Xandu goes for the half-elf thing going on there.
Have you entered here
And,
looking like this particular half-elf before?
Yes.
Then you would recognize
That
it.
is why I would be like, you know, if I was an illusion, I would probably look like Xandu instead of this half-elf.
That's fair.
That's my argument.
Okay. Well, in that case, you look like a half-elf, but he knows that you're Xandu, but you're Xandu hiding as a half-elf, and he doesn't believe you're real.
Okay,
and,
so that's still,
and then does a
he still doesn't
39.
believe I'm real.
Then
It was a roll to see whether you die or not.
Yeah.
Come on.
Does a 39 hit your flat?
Just call it what it is.
Does a 39 hit my flat? Yes.
Okay. Make a fort save.
Make a fort
Make
save
a
or
fort
die,
save.
nerd.
It's not or die.
This is the final.
Alright.
This is the final episode.
Man, you guys have no
D6 points of Constitution drain.
no faith. No, you don't get con drain. What happens is he fails to save for drow poison.
Okay,
Is it a
it's
mind
just
affecting poison?
and knock you
Yes.
unconscious.
I don't think it's a mind affecting.
No.
Would,
I was just hoping. Fingers crossed.
it would be interesting to understand. Hazuka would be interested. He's not even there, but me as a player is interested if Xandu would even be affected by such a poison.
He is. Xandu is affected.
What he is.
For balance reasons.
For balance reasons. God, why is this not taking? Oh, I didn't put the R in. That's
I
why.
realize that's coming from a guy who's immune to poison.
Yeah. 57 points of damage.
For ballast.
12 of it is sneak attack damage, and I will also say, Kane, the damage that hit you, the D8s are precision damage, if there's something that might make you immune to that.
Oh my god, that's a good. Oh yeah, roll a D100.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna roll it twice because this was from 2 attacks from 2 knife masters.
Also, what was the fort save for? Do I know?
Higher than 25.
Higher than 25. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still gonna.
Fair. The fort save is for the dagger. It has drow poison on it, and you failed.
Ah.
So if I remember
Don't know what that
correctly,
does.
you
Fall asleep.
pretty much. I don't remember if the onset is immediate or not. I think the onset is immediate. No, the onset's not immediate. It takes a round, I think.
Yeah, Xandu's looking pretty bad.
You almost passed. It was DC 13. So.
Oh, so close. I should have used the hero point or something. Oh well.
Hero point or
Do
something.
you want
we'll see.
to?
It's he. We're gonna
I'll
pass
save it for death.
pass to Francis. Xandu blacks out.
Oh, Jesus. Oleg tries to save his papa, and he casts glitter dust.
Okay. This will provoke from both of the Arcadians.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
They look-
Oleg need to make
He would be rolling to cast defensively, yeah.
26.
26. What level's the spell? That's like a level 1 or 2 spell.
2.
Okay, yeah, he passed them.
Okay, glitter dust. So that's will save.
Okay. Who are we targeting?
It is creatures and objects within a 10-foot radius spread.
Gotcha. So both of my knife masters are the ones getting targeted. Understood.
Yeah. Well, I think it would also target Francis, actually.
Okay. Make your will save. I have a 28 and a 15. I don't like that 15.
It makes it. The 15 does not.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost can't fail that.
Yeah, I imagine. All right,
Well,
so
one of them's
blind.
blinded.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. What do I even do? How do I get out of this?
How are you looking for health at the moment?
Not good.
I can only do so much to try to help you.
Let me just double check what Fog Cloud does. Alright, yeah, that works for me. I'm gonna 5 foot next to the one that's blind and cast Fog Cloud.
Alrighty, there's no need to 5 foot. They're both right on top. Oh, never mind. You're getting out of the flank. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood. That works. You are out of the threat range of the one that could attack you, but do roll concentration.
The Knife Master, that's a pretty good archetype.
Especially when you stack it with Scout.
Especially when you ambush a full caster.
Especially when the full casters all go off by themselves.
Concentration, where is it?
Especially when the full casters
30.
go off by themselves and don't teleport to where they're going.
That's fair. That's very fair. The 30, I'm sure, is more than enough to resolve Fog
Wouldn't
Cloud.
happen if Xandu didn't have to deliberate every single spell choice.
You know, teleport's a risky spell. It really is.
Yeah, you guys could end up in the barrier and be dead.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why it's like,
You hit the Blue Cobalt Emporium, but you hit the Blue Cobalt Emporium at its former location in Igorian, and you're very dead. Okay, so
the Blue Pogold in Corian.
or you hit the Blue Cobalt Emporium where it actually exists, and you get attacked by its owner, and you're still almost very dead.
That was the will save. That's an entirely different. That's not my fault. Erendil used his hero point, fighting off all the Arcadians.
Okay.
All right, so you've got fog billowing out.
One of them is basically double blind, and the other one is the other one's engulfed in a fog bank. So is the Hell Knight, I think.
Okay.
20-foot radius.
Yeah, the Hell Knight's at the 30-foot mark. Okay, so Francis would know that this will disperse in a round because you've cast it in a blizzard, and there's definitely a strong wind going right now. That all you got?
Yeah, I was gonna say I should have moved farther away, but he would have opportunity attacked me if I hadn't.
That tracks already.
Yeah, I guess that's what I got.
The Hell Knight turns in Lucia's direction, and he holds up his hand. Lucia, make a will save. That does pass. Okay, so you feel. Well, you're pretty. Like, you know the Hell Knights. You're also pretty. Will you please go out and listen? Regardless, you feel you're like your mouth starting to stitch shut. You know it's a pretty common tactic of the Hell Knights to target casters in this way, in such a way that, like, mechanically it would shut up your verbal components by literally, like, preventing you from speaking. However, you did pass with that will save, so I'm sure it's...
Nice. I think I actually know the spell you are using.
I'm using, I think it's called Shackle. I have it kind of half copied into Google. I've had this encounter prep for a while. This was supposed to be Casimir, but we'll do it here instead. He moves around the fog cloud in such a way that he positions himself between where Francis should be and you. As he does so, he draws what would normally be like his bastard sword hanging from his back, but now it's been replaced with a scimitar, and he unlimbers his shield. And just kind of like, whilst holding both these weapons, he kind of just like crosses his arms and looks at you. This infernal power radiating off him. Also, like, it appears he's walking directly on top of the snow, just really leisurely. What's up?
Does it look like he is not impacting does it look like
like he's not leaving footprints? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was asking that.
Make a perception check. That's kind of hard to see in a blizzard. Okay, it's a pretty low DC. It's hard to see, but it's a low DC. Yeah, he's not leaving footprints in the snow at all. While this is going on, the two Arcadians are going to 5-foot step to, again, put Francis in a flank. They don't have blind fight.
They can't see me.
They can't see you.
Well, the one of them can, but the other one has no idea where I am. He doesn't even know where his friend is.
So the one that's blind just straight up cannot attack you?
No.
Okay, fair enough. He's been glitter dusted, but the other one has a... Oh god, it obscures all sight beyond 5 feet, okay. But within 5 feet they have concealment, so...
20%.
Yeah.
I think the blinded one does get another will save, though.
He does, 24.
Yeah, that makes it.
Okay, so in this case they're both going to 5 foot and full attack you. First I'm going to roll the percentage dice.
He still doesn't know where I am, though.
They know where you were when you cast. Well, one of them does. The other one is still, like... You're within 5 feet of him. He has the ability to, like, pick you out. I can make perception checks if you'd like.
Well, the other one is more than 5 feet away from me, is what I'm saying. Only one of them is within 5 feet.
Yeah, but the one that's not 5 feet away saw you move and then you cast it. He knows the square you're in when you cast it. Alrighty, so I have 6 attacks. First, I'm going to roll the percentage dice. It's a 20% miss chance?
25.
25%.
Oh, yeah, 20%.
So if I get 21 or greater. So that attack hits, that attack hits, that attack misses. So 3 of the 4 attacks are going to attack you.
What's your minimum damage?
That depends on the fortification.
Light fortification.
Yeah. Because that's either 10 or 10 plus a bunch of d8s. So I'm going to make 3 attacks.
No.
They're all kind of sad. They're adding 19. So the 21 probably doesn't hit you.
No, but the 26 doesn't hit either. The third one does.
The third one does. Okay, I'll let you roll your percentage dice for the sneak attack.
The sheet says 26, but my AC section 27.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Let the fortification decide your fate.
Are you rolling it or am I?
You got it.
Whoop. Oh!
Oh!
No precision damage.
No precision, so ignore the 10d8 and take only 11 damage.
Okay.
You are able to, like, I guess a little bit of plant matter grows up around your kidney as the knife goes to shank in. It kind of, like, pushes it out.
Yeah, it's kind of woody there.
Yeah. Alright, that is my turn. Lucia.
So the big Hell Knight coming to me, I'm going to be casting Web, and I need to make a concentration check due to the wind, right?
That's correct. I realized I didn't full attack. I had more attacks, but it's fine.
So it is a second. It is a second level spell I'm casting. So I believe it's 20 enough.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
All right. The next thing I need you to do is I need you to roll spell resistance.
Oh, wait. So I need to beat its SR.
I believe Web allows spell resistance. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yes. No. It's
SR no.
Yeah,
SR no. Okay, gotcha. Alright, fair enough. And then I'm rolling a what?
Reflex save.
Alrighty. Here we go. I have a lot of macros. Actually, I have like no macros. I should have made macros for this. Here you go. I have a 34.
That beat the DC, and I think, yep, that actually negates the effect.
Okay, fair enough. Is that all?
And I'm going to try to make as much room as possible between me and the Hell Knight, so I'm going to be moving.
So what you can
30
do,
feet.
what you can do is, you guys are presently on a straight line of carpets of flying that are at your feet. It's essentially like there are two paths you could take, walking one way or like back in the direction of the palace, which is still it's a ways off.
The way that we were going to the blue cobalt, that carpet path, I would be going that way, the way that Zandu would have had led us.
Sure.
So go 30 feet that way.
Alrighty. Speaking of Zandu, Zandu wakes up. Make a perception check.
Oh, I wake up very quickly. Huh, that's interesting. 18.
You wake up shackled at the ankle, at the knee, at the wrist, at the elbow, at the shoulder, at the head, at like not unlike when Enterling got his lobotomy, at the neck, at the chest, at the stomach, at the rib cage, at the waist, everywhere. Just adamantine bands strap you into a like a wooden table that sits up at a 45-degree angle. You've been stripped of all of your gear. Not Enterling. I see Enterling in the chat. Like, oh, now this is getting fun. This is where Joe's gonna help me kill you. No, that's not what happens. Irondale paces the floor in front of you, and you can see Emmy. She's fine. She's like, she hasn't been disturbed from her couch of many blankets. Irondale kind of like drums his fingers on the blade of his dagger, and like with the other hand drums back with his dagger on those fingers. Where is Zandu?
Right in front of you. Now's not the time to
give me an answer.
We're under attack.
He doesn't believe you.
You know, I think probably the best proof Zandu has that he's Zandu, at least given the circumstances, is by casting some sort of psychic spell while shackled that would usually require verbal and somatic components.
You don't have verbal and somatic components. That is the thing.
I don't. That is the whole point.
That's fair. That's fair.
That would be evidence, if I can do that, that I am most likely Zandu, at least.
That's fair. I'm going to first ask for a will save really quickly.
First ask for a will save, huh?
To see if you don't have some kind of condition on you that would cause you to not fill the thought component.
Gotcha.
I think.
All right. And if it's a mind affecting, that is plus 12, which if it can't do a thought component, that makes sense.
That's fair. Okay, Zandu can shake it off. You get really scared for a second, but you're able to maintain your focus.
Let's see. I'm going to look through my spell list here, figure out which one I want to pick. That one requires me to touch somebody, so that's not going to work. You know, invisibility is only a level 2 spell. Why not cast that?
Okay, sure. The spell resolves. I will allow Irondale to make another will save to disbelieve. He adds a lot. Okay. Irondale breathes in really deeply. His eyes go kind of wide. As he does so, like, he looks up at your face, and you get the feeling that the invisibility isn't fooling him.
Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere, but
it's proof. It's proof enough that you are actually Zandu, and he had a lapse in judgment.
Although, to be fair, he would not be able to true see me because of mind blank.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, yeah.
So he might he might think I teleported away, or he might think that he might think I've gone invisible. So maybe I'm still there.
That's fair. Here's a perception check. Make a stealth check.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because, yeah, he's got permanent true seeing.
With a plus 40 on it, because you can't move.
Yeah.
Yes.
49.
49.
All right, he can see you. He has a character sheet. I imagine what happens here is you start to shake a little bit, and you, like, rattle against the things that bind you.
Yeah.
Quicker than you've ever seen him move, he makes his way over to you. He kind of looks a little afraid. As he just, like, runs over to where you are, snaps his fingers, and all of the bindings unbind you. They just kind of, like, pop open, and you collapse on the ground. What are you doing? Are you trying to get killed?
Zandu's sort of breathing heavily as he flops to the floor. I came to you for help. We're under attack.
So I noticed. Arundel pops out of Arundel's, like, wrappings around his body. Just, oh, you're actually Zandu! Oh! We did a bad thing! Arundel shoves him back down.
You said he looks kind of scared, right?
Yeah, he looks a little scared.
I'm gonna sense motive to see what he's scared of. Is it the people attacking us? Is it that he mistook me? Or is it that I'm still Zandu?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been a really good time for a natural 20, I'm gonna say that. You're not sure. There's a lot of things going on right now. Well, hold on. Okay, yeah, you're not sure. He adds more than just that natural 3 to his bluff check.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So what's going on?
One of the former Hell Knights teleported in. Francis might be dead by now. I don't know about Lucia. But they were... she got their attention before I teleported to come to you for help.
And what do you want me to do about that? I can't both fight your battles for you and protect your daughter, you know.
I was afraid of that. All right. And then... I already used the standard, but Zandu's going to indicate that he wants to pack his stuff back up and go get help from the others.
Okay. Arundel snaps his fingers again, and all of your gear gets the invisibility that was cast on it, gets it dispelled. You had all your stuff still. It was just made to appear rather that you'd lost everything.
Oh, that's interesting.
And you want to go get the others like Kazaha and Pogue and Enterling?
Yes, Zandu does not have another action to teleport, so...
Okay, fair enough. Arundel...
Unless Arendel's got something...
Arundel... Something crosses his mind. Make a sense motive check.
Alright. $25.
Okay. An idea crosses the alchemist's head, but it's pretty clear he doesn't want you to know about it. As soon as his eyes light up, he gets himself under control really fast. As he does so, he pulls a bottle from his big ol' alchemist box of spells, drinks it. Take my hand.
What were you, You were hiding something from me.
There's no time, Zandu. Let's go.
Zandu is hesitant, but he has been helpful so far. There's no indication that he's actually doing something vile right now other than a thought popping into his head, so he'll go. He takes his hand.
All right. As he does this, as you do this, rather, he leans back. And as he does so, he kind of like pulls you along. It's really, really shifty of him. And he leans back with his other hand and he grabs Emmy. And the teleport spell resolves. You guys appear pretty much right next to where a Fog Cloud and Lucia and this Hell Knight exist. Francis, you're up.
Oh dear. Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Oleg's gonna cast Barkskin.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna cast Hungry Earth.
It would provoke on both counts.
I know it will. I'm also gonna 5 foot out of the flank.
Fair enough.
So that'll be. Let me get Oleg's really quick because I have to actually type it. 18.
Okay.
It's like first level spell.
Then it just passes.
I think Barkskin is a second level spell.
Oh, okay. In that case, it would fail without an action point. An action point would just squeak you in.
If I can I hold that until I see whether or not mine works?
Sure, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm out of hero points, so I guess I explode.
Wait. We roll. You're using my hero point because I'm being nice.
You say so matter-of-factly. Alright, yeah.
Alright. 33.
The meta can't cause an alignment change.
Alright.
But that does resolve. Neutral good, haha.
Does a 19 make a level 2 spell work?
It does.
Oh, it does.
Just does. You're a Titan Defender.
I was being sarcastic. Okay, so the barkskin goes off, and Francis's skin sort of hardens into this bark-like appearance, and Hungry Earth. The ground attempts to pull creatures beneath its surface, as if hungry for the flesh of mortals. Immediately and at the beginning of each of your turns, each creature touching the ground within the area of the spell is the target of a grapple combat maneuver. Creatures that enter the area effect are also automatically attacked.
Okay.
The ground does not provoke. CMB is equal to 5 plus my caster level. That's not very much. Okay. Garble.
So we need a CMB against all three of them?
Hold on a second. Yes, in a 20-foot radius.
Alrighty, understood.
That doesn't happen to affect Zandu.
Zandu and Lucia and Arundel and Emmy are all three out of the way.
Alright.
One of these days I'll figure out.
22?
22. Okay, so it outright doesn't seem to affect the Hell Knight.
Ooh. It was a natural 20.
Why are there 4?
Because it's a combat maneuver against every creature.
But there's only 3. Unless it does target you.
But it's just every creature, not every opponent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fair. Okay. Well, that's awkward.
So the first one doesn't hit me.
I was treating the first one as targeting the Hell Knight, so I'm gonna roll a D3 for which one targets you. The second one.
Okay, the 19 doesn't hit me.
Okay. 19 doesn't hit the Arcadian, but the one that you had blinded will get hit by that natural 20 for sure.
Oh, so which one's hit? The 19 is hitting me, right?
You're getting hit by the 28. I rolled a d3, got a 2, because the 22 I'd already said was targeting the Hell Knight. That was the first one I saw. So then we have a 19, 28, 34. The 2 set of 28 is what targets you.
Okay, then I do get grappled.
Okay. And so too does... actually, as the one you'd blinded gets grappled, he leans back a little too far and his dagger flies out of his hand and hits the other Arcadian. It doesn't harm him, but it's enough for him to kind of like reflexively dodge out of the way, and he is also grappled. That's what we'll do. Yeah, seems good.
Each time the ground succeeds a combat maneuver, it drags the creature farther down, eventually forcing the creature below its surface.
Oh god.
With the first successful check, the target gains the grappled condition. Grappled opponents can't move without first breaking the grapple. The ground receives a +5. Check to grapple opponents without grappled after the second successful grapple. Pulled to the ground, it becomes prone. On the third, you are fully submerged.
Nice. So it's like Suffocate, except it takes way longer.
Yeah, I guess.
Seems good. Seems good. I'll have to remember the spell for my next druid. That's very good. Okay, yeah, you guys are all 3 grappled.
What did I miss?
You missed nothing you can see because this is happening in a fog cloud.
Okay. I know what my new AC is, I think.
Fair enough.
So,
I thought you were about to say, I know what my new character will be.
I don't know what one of my new characters will be. I don't know about
Just bring Cashew in every game forever.
No, I will not do that.
Okay. Anyway, is that all you got?
That's a pair of standard actions, and now I'm grappled, so I can't move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because breaking a grapple is the standard, right?
Mm.
Or move. It's one or the other. Yeah, that's me.
Alrighty. The Hell Knight sees Lucia, sees Arundel, Emmy, and Xandu. His eyes kind of like sweep across the field. He continues to just stand there.
Xandu's still got that hat.
That's fair.
Is that
And a hat,
anything?
a hat of my true seeing doesn't help me. And somehow Francis is free of the grapple.
Who rolled that one?
That the Hell Knight's perception against the bluff check of Xandu, or the disguise check of Xandu with the hat of disguise.
Nice.
What happens
I mean, I
is
still gotta roll that disguise check, I guess.
yeah, you do. Let's really shoelace this one hard while I'm trying to figure out what the CMB of my Knife Masters is.
Oh baby.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
All the stupid things to nat 20.
I nat 20 against his
There
nat
are
1.
more
What happens?
No, yeah, I think the Hell Knight
things
gets
happening.
the Hell Knight gets grappled and sucked into the ground.
No, not quite. He can't be
Oh,
grappled.
yeah.
There's something that's stopping him from being grappled.
What?
But what does
the
happen?
The DM.
Not the DM.
No, freedom of movement does it. It's super simple to get out of a grapple.
It is, really is.
The Hell Knight, they all look at Xandu at his awesomeness.
But there's only one, so we can't really do all. I'm sorry if I was unclear about that.
Oh, one of them.
All one of them. What actually happens? What actually happens is... how do I do this?
Hell Knight falls in the snow.
The snow by Francis, because Francis is of the green faith. Yes, he is. It kind of rises out of the ground and coalesces into a like moving serpentine shape, not unlike, I can't think of the name of the I think it's called like Earth Wave or something like that a druid can use to travel really fast, and it moves him back onto the carpets.
It is, in fact, called Earth Wave.
Tight. With the rest of the party.
Dope.
The Snow by France.
I still don't. What's my DC on that CM, or what's the CMD, rather?
Sorry?
The CMD for my Knife Masters trying to break out of the ground.
CMD, it would be strength plus...
No, I'm aware what the number is. I'm asking Francis, because he cast the spell.
Yeah. DC just gets grapple increases if you're pulled beneath the earth. You either have to break. Oh, DC 20.
DC 20. Okay, then both of them do fail. Well, no, they don't. Both of them pass because they add 11. They add 19. So yeah, they pass. They both break out. That's their standard action.
What?
They move out just outside, like behind the Hell Knight, outside of the obscuring mist, which is now dispelled because the wind blows it away.
And they're able to walk on the snow?
They are.
How come?
You're not there. You don't have the ability to make the checks. Lucia, what's up?
So how many of them are injured at the current moment for the Hell Knights?
I believe one of them has taken a little bit of damage from a bone flens. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going. How far away is the Hell Knight with the sword and shield? I know I moved 30 feet.
He's probably about like 25 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm going to be casting lightning bolt, so I need him or that Hell Knight to make a reflex save.
All right. One of the knife masters will be in that line because they kind of make like a triangle shape. So here is his. Never mind.
Oh boy.
Would Xandu like to use the hero point?
Oh, that's Lucia rolled that. Okay.
Yeah, I know I had to make a concentration because I was in the wind.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know what? He'll risk it.
Alrighty. It wouldn't have been that bad to have the lightning bolt resolve that to hit all 5 of you. Because, I mean, Francis is immune. A 30 does succeed. What's my DC?
DC 19.
Alright. The Knife Master passes with evasion, then roll spell resistance.
Lightning bolt. It is not a AOE. Yes. No, it is not a AOE. Or does evasion work?
It targets. It has spell resistance because it targets.
Yeah, it totally targets. It has spell resistance.
AOE effect.
Well, it doesn't. It
also
doesn't target, but yeah, you gotta roll SR.
So does 18 beat it?
It does not. It seems to just kind of dance off the Hell Knight's armor as it passes through him into the Knife Master, who backflips in place.
Okay, turn over.
Alright, Xandu, what you got? You definitely see that as you arrive, Emmy's body falls onto the carpet, free of blankets. Arundel has a knife in one hand and a pistol in the other. Arundel has 2 tiny little flintlocks and is popping out of Arendel's shirt.
Oh yeah, evasion.
Where does he seem to be pointing?
In the direction of the Hell Knights.
Okay, so he's not pointing at any of us, at least not right now.
Right.
Okay.
I think Rogue and Joe are trying to say there's no evasion for lightning bolt or something.
There's definitely evasion for lightning bolt.
Wait, is evasion for targeted attacks? Or is evasion for...
The damage was done correctly. It was misworded. Lightning bolt is an AoE. It's a reflex for half. The guy dodges with evasion, but it still allows spell resistance, and you failed the check, so both of them take no damage. More importantly, it's Xandu's turn.
So Xandu is going to assume that he brought her with to so that he can simultaneously protect her and help fight off the attack.
Okay.
She has no blankets. Does she appear to be affected?
Yeah, she's still passed out, but she's shivering real hard.
Okay. What do I have on me that I could use to warm her up? Do you think?
Your clothes.
We got those blankets before.
Your own blankets. It's kind of awkward that you guys are fighting out of these blankets, but I'm like, you're high enough level characters that I believe you can finagle it. You could give her yours, but that would expose you to the elements.
I don't believe I need one.
We do have that resistance versus the cold.
That's correct, but you don't resist the non-lethal.
But I don't resist the non-lethal, which is true, but she doesn't resist any of it.
That's very true.
So, he is going to throw his blanket over her.
Okay, make a fortitude save.
All right. Dang it, wrong one. 22.
Okay, that passes. It's really cold, but you think you're fine. It's also a little awkward, like, to pull the thing off and throw it at Emmy, because she's like 10 feet away from you. You have to kind of like throw it into the wind, and then the wind catches it and blows it the rest of the way. But you do make it.
Okay, and then is that a standard or a move to do that?
We'll call it a move.
Okay, fair. Then so would these servants that are running around, would they have any sort of immunity to mind affecting that Xandu would know of?
The Arcadians?
Yeah.
Make some kind of check.
All right. I'll go with Arcana because he's sort of fought them before.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
28.
Alright, so most likely not the Chelish. Before, under Asmodeus, the Chelish definitely did not care about these guys. They're the shock troops of the Empire. You can distinctly remember a lot of Arcadians thrown at a lot of, like, giant Shuanti with Earthbreakers and the orcs from Belkzen who were forced to work with them because that's all that's left, and just falling in waves before them, yet more and more would come on until eventually you would have to fall back. That said,
Gotcha.
There's definitely something cast on them to allow them to not, like, fall in the snow. Also, they don't, like, their chests are pretty exposed over the, like, the bear skins that are thrown over their backs. They should be cold, they don't appear to be. But mind affecting, yeah, no, most likely not.
No. I think before I go ahead and say that I'm just gonna try to finagle information out of them by casting Detect Thoughts. Let's see. So without the move action, it's a 20 plus what?
It's the DC is increased by, I think, 10.
DC is increased by 10.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna double check that. It's usually 15 plus double the spell level.
Yeah, it's usually 15 plus double the spell level.
So it'd be if you're casting a level 3 spell, for example, it'd be a 21, and then it's increased by how much it's increased by. I'm gonna double check it. I'm pretty sure it's by 10. Yeah, it's increased by 10 because you can't fulfill the thought component.
Oh, you can't fulfill the thought
or rather,
component without centering yourself?
You can't fulfill the thought component, therefore your DC is increased by 10.
Huh, I did not realize that you needed a...
Well, I guess you can fulfill it. It's you make the concentration check, and when you do, it's increased by 10. Otherwise, you can't fulfill the thought component and you fail. Is a better way to word it.
But if it doesn't have a thought component, if it only has a emotion component,
then it's fine.
An emotion component, so then it's fine.
Emotion components, you can't. It's impossible to cast a spell with an emotion component when the spellcaster is under the influence of a non-harmless effect with the emotion or fear descriptor.
Okay, but I can still concentrate.
Correct.
To
Yeah.
Okay. That is very good to know. This will be so helpful. So if that is the case, it would be... you know, Zandu is going to cast one of his new undercasty spells, which is Bid Insinuation 2. And
Alrighty.
he's going to target the two servants.
Alrighty. We will make will saves.
Do I still have to try for casting in the storm?
I'm sure you do.
With the wind?
Yeah.
Okay, but I just don't take the minuses to it. Gotcha. That is helpful.
Does it not have a thought component?
It has an emotion component, but not a thought component.
Okay, fair enough.
27.
27.
And it is
So that would pass.
yeah, it's just a level 3 spell.
Gotcha. And I'll make some will saves. Here's the first one is a 19. The second one is a 15.
Okay, and this was Bid Insinuation 2. Oh, if only I was rolling a caster level check.
If only. Alright, so... what even is happening with this spell?
Fun
So
stuff.
they're confused as long as you concentrate plus an additional round. In addition, on the first round of the effect, the target of the spell must roll twice to determine the result of the confused. Okay, got it. Yeah, they both kind of... did they both fail? And then 15 and a 19? Yeah.
Oh yeah, both.
They both fail. Okay, yeah, you've got them confused.
Yep. So yeah.
Fair enough. Is that your turn?
That's going on. Yeah, that's my
All
turn.
right, so Arundel jumps out of Arundel's chest and makes a use magic device check. As it does so, it pulls. It's about as big as it, but somehow it can like balance it awkwardly between like both its little nubbin hands and its head, a crystal ball. And it is able to use that crystal ball to use the carpet of flying that it's standing on, and it takes off.
Ooh.
It flies just about directly at the Hell Knight. Well, no, it's gonna... when it gets over the two Arcadians who are now confused, Arundel has it bank a little as this happens. Arundel drinks a potion and kind of like stays in place as the carpet barrel rolls, but Emmy falls off. She and her blanket that you threw on her land directly between the two Arcadians.
So am I not with him?
You are not.
Oof.
They rise up into the air with kind of increasing speed. Francis, what are you doing?
Do I get a sense motive check onto why the heck he would do that?
Sure, yeah.
Wow. Because that's the...
Do I make bluff check? No, I'm not really... yeah, I'm trying to hide stuff. Alright. This is a very good day for bad rolls and good rolls.
Swingy.
Okay, so yeah, it's verse swingy. So Zandu... you know... Actually... I don't think I've ever dated an Emmy, Van. Have I? No, I haven't. Anywho. I have to get back in story now. It dawns on Zandu. A lot dawns on Zandu. We can tip it here, I think.
Alright.
When Emmy contacts the ground, and she falls kind of far, you definitely, like, you hear a thud as you imagine, like, her head or neck contacts the snow and then falls through. And as this happens, Xandu feels a lot of power begin to flow through him. Make a will save. His
Oh boy.
ability to reason begins going out the door.
$18
All
plus
right.
12 of its mind affecting.
Your only desire is to destroy those Arcadians in the most brutal way you can imagine.
So that's with an 18 plus 12, right?
Correct.
All right.
Francis and Lucia see Xandu start to radiate with power. He stands up a little straighter, his shoulders get a little broader, he even kind of like hulks out a little bit. He picks up off the ground about 5 feet. It is Francis's initiative.
Jesus. Fucking Christ. Okay. I'm going to... Because I'm in the middle of this spell effect and the,
You are
both
not.
the rogues.
You are
What?
not. That was a natural
I'm
20.
not?
You got pulled back onto the carpets with everybody else.
Oh, okay. Am I still in melee range with people?
You are not.
Okay.
You're about 30 feet away from the Hell Knight.
I'm gonna wild shape then.
Sure.
And that will also knock my AC up a little. And will also bring it. No, it doesn't go down. Just bring it up. Up, up, and up! And then I will. Well, it's a standard, so I guess all I can do is move close enough to tap someone. So I'll get 20 feet away from one of the slaves.
Okay, sure.
And that'll be me.
Alright, so the Hell Knight looks at where Xandu is, and his eyes go really wide, and then he steps back, bleh, and teleports away. The 14 ensures that he arrives where he's trying to go without dying horribly. So I'm going to roll the percentage dice twice. For the first of the Arcadians, I have a 43 or a 16, which means, Colin, because you get to choose, they're either going to act normally or do nothing but babble incoherently. I believe I know your choice. That Arcadian
Yeah, they're
begins
gonna
to
babble.
Now I've got a 50 or a 56. The other one will either do nothing, or they will deal 1d8 points of damage plus strength modifier to self with item in hand.
You know, I like the sound of that second one, especially if I'm pissed off at him.
It's kind of transcended pissed off. You don't understand what pissed off means. You understand only you have one desire, and that's to watch both of them explode.
Yep.
I feel like it feels flavorful to do this, so I'm going to do it. Plus 10 plus... This is a little vindication for Francis. The Arcadian who isn't babbling takes his knife and cuts himself across the throat with it for 54 damage. I'm treating him as flat-footed, and he has a lot of sneak attack. Lucia sees Xandu in all of his newfound glory, and it's glorious enough to have made a Hell Knight run.
I am going to analyze Xandu to figure out what power form phase he is in. So would be Knowledge Arcana?
That works, yeah.
Is it like a Super Saiyan 2 or a 3?
Yeah. I mean, if he's in the Dimension of Dreams, he can stay and fly around places, so...
That is true. I need to read more about Lang in Planar Adventures. I keep telling myself I'm going to read it. Because it's relevant now. 20, you... It's really hard to say. You know cause and effect. You know something happened to Emmy and it caused Xandu to get really powerful, and it's certainly magical. The rest is kind of escaping you.
This definitely interests Lucia, seeing the potential powers this form Xandu have.
Alrighty.
And I'm so the two. So how far am I away from
those Arcadians?
How far am I away from Francis at the moment?
Francis is right next to you.
Oh, I thought I was.
He's also a big snake monster again.
Also is a big snake monster.
Oh, I thought I was 30 feet away from him.
Now he moved. There was a natural one, and he got moved back.
Okay, so
A nat 1 and a nat 20.
No, yeah.
So-
Very swingy today.
So are both of the slaves dead or injured? Or how
One of them
are
just
they?
cut himself across the throat, but he seems to be all right. The other one has been. You tried to bone cleanse him and it didn't pan out.
Okay, I'm going to move back as far as 30 feet I can on the carpet, so I'm out of the Hell Knights threatened.
All right. So
reach area.
again, they aren't Hell Knights. The Hell Knight is teleported away.
Oh, I thought they were Hell Knight souls too.
Nope, they're slaves.
Okay, so I move back out of their reach.
Okay, it's kind of awkward because there's no back. It's left or right.
Well, you get what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is it's going to be about 30 feet in any direction. Like, it would be a little farther, but it won't be like 30 feet back. It'd be more like you'd have to double move to get to you.
Yeah, I would move on the carpet 30 feet. One way to get out.
Xandu?
I was trying to say that, but you get what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun.
Xandu has access to all spells on the psychic spell list, but don't make me regret that by having a 20-minute turn.
Oh my gosh. All spells on the psychic spell list, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
gonna make it a little easier on everyone and say all 9th level spells on the psychic spell list, so you're not. So you're not. Yeah. They just die. I kill them. They had a very terminal disease called I don't want to mess with instigate psychic duel. We've done that before.
that would be a fun way to.
Joe knows exactly what's up. By what? Having us take 45 minutes, but while I figure out what they can and can't manifest. I don't know what their wisdom mod is.
Just direct them that way.
So I am imagining Xandu being in Super Saiyan 4 or 5 form.
Yeah, it's probably accurate. It's
yeah, no, he just summons.
There's no 4 or 5.
Loads their brain.
Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Fun. This is a spell called Psychic Crush.
That seems good.
That seems flavorful.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, there's too many levels of this. Because those psychic spells and their undercasting.
It is a thing. You definitely you could cast it. You could cast it at level 5. There's no reason to not.
Just vaporize him.
Yeah, that's the idea.
We're not gonna do anything. We can always just say that they that he psychically rips them apart molecule by molecule.
Yeah, vaporize. Do that thing from the third X-Men movie that no one talks about anymore.
So I need to make fortitude saves?
Fortitude or will save.
It's a fortitude first, then it's a no, excuse me. It's a will save first, and then it's a fort save if it fails. So
yes.
Fortunately, it's the same number for my will and my fort. So I have a natural 20. So they both pass the will save.
Okay.
If
it also fails, if it fails the fortitude save, it's reduced to -1 and dying.
Okay, so
so
it didn't. The fort save doesn't happen because one of them natural 20 the will save. So
on a successful save, it still takes 11d6 points of damage plus 1 point per caster level.
That's the fort save.
That is fort or will or Psychic Crush 5.
Does it change down there?
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh
my.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. All right, roll it. You are caster level 20 right now. Actually, you're caster level 30.
Ooh, this will be fun.
Nice.
So, 11d6 plus 30.
Can you be a sorcerer? You are a sorcerer. Can I cast this spell? Can I cast this spell as an orc draconic sorcerer and use elemental spell to make this do fire damage? Because not only is that flavorful, but you would add a lot. Boom!
That would be super cool.
Goals. Alrighty. 67
damage on the one who is not damaged yet.
Oh,
Okay.
hashtag squad.
Understood. Alright, he takes it. And the other one?
The other one had a nat 20, I thought.
So they both passed the will save, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what it was. So
Yeah.
they still both take the damage. Okay.
Fair enough. I'll just put 67 on the other one too. Well, never mind. You've rolled it.
74.
I'll do 74 then. That's fine. Alrighty, they both survive it. They're not feeling good. They're still confused even, so.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yes.
Alrighty, Francis, what you do? Actually, Francis and Lucia both make perception checks.
Okay. Play to my strengths. 38 from
30. Okay,
Francis.
so both of you can hear a little girl's voice crying out in the snow for Xandu. Xandu doesn't respond to it. He just kind of looks at the two Arcadians and he Charlie X's, but it's a lot scarier. It's a very scary Charlie X. More or less, yeah, that's fair. And it's on you. What you got, Francis? The Arcadians don't seem to be, like, they're kind of shaking off the confusion. They look like it's probably going to be another round. But...
it's as long as I concentrate.
Right, and you did a standard action, so you're not concentrating.
Oh, you have to do a standard action to concentrate? Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought concentration was just,
Oh yeah, it might be.
Concentration's a
You
standard
can't
action.
you can't cast other spells while you're concentrating.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
I could just obliterate these guys, but I'm pretty sure Xandu and his 30 caster levels are gonna do that for me. Which is kind of a bummer after I survived being very nearly murdered for 3 rounds.
Well, they're still standing.
Yeah, I know. I'm weighing my options here. What would like WW Francis?
What would Francis do? Well, what would
If
Francis
you are
do?
affected by a spell while attempting to cast a spell of your own, you must make a concentration check or lose the spell you are casting.
But you weren't affected by a spell. You cast a spell. They didn't cast at you.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yes, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna obliterate them. That's gonna be my
Fair
that's my
enough.
goal. Ignore the bite.
Okay. In that case, they're flat-footed. So you needed a... I think none of those can... Well, they're flat-footed. Okay. The 19 misses, the 22 misses, the 23 is tied to defender, the 17 misses. The 27 would have hit.
Myself.
Oh, okay. But they miss you too. Because your AC is also in the 20s. I try so hard. If that's all.
Yep.
Alrighty. One more roundo confusion. 1D100. The first one's gonna hurt himself. The second one's gonna babble incoherently. So the one that didn't cut his throat takes his knife and stabs it like behind his ear for 35 damage. Not much for a big sneak attack guy, but 35 damage he does in fact take. Then they shake their heads and they realize that bad things are happening and you're scary and there's a crying child next to them and their Hell Knight handler is gone. Lucia.
Does it look like these slaves, are they willing to surrender or are they in the mood to fight?
Make a... The knowledge checks are pretty swingy for you because, like...
What about sense motive?
It's more relevant for you to take a knowledge check because you're Chelish. History, nobility, local, pretty much any knowledge check you can justify works here.
Knowledge local.
Sure.
Oh, if I wasn't so bent on destroying these guys, I'd cast Akashic form right now.
Okay, so the DC's pretty low for Lucia. 16's fine.
So
What you know is these guys are relatively young looking, so you imagine they were born into slavery. These guys have been conditioned from birth to fight or their families will die. But normally, there's a Hell Knight handler with them or someone is scrying them, sometimes both. And the Hell Knight took off pretty fast, so it would appear these guys have been abandoned. Will they fight? Yes, they're very cornered. They're not going to just give up. Surrender is the last thing they're going to do, but they aren't necessarily hostile towards you guys. It's just they believe they have to.
Do I know what other languages the Arcadian slaves are taught as well, besides the native language there?
You know, they certainly would speak Kensari. They might speak some of the other dialects of the Malwick tribes, maybe, but they certainly don't speak, like, common.
What about Infernal?
I would have told you. I realize you speak Infernal, and that would have been the first one out. They don't. They might recognize a phrase or two, but they don't. In that case, it would be less of them communicating and more like you're barking commands at a beaten dog.
Okay, I'm going to say the word surrender if you want to live, or a phrase like that in the infernal language. So diplomacy?
No, they just go ahead and roll. I'll tell you that, and don't try to change it. But I'll tell you now that what you said was too wordy for them to have understood it. But go ahead and roll the check. The way you doesn't matter. The way you guys have been rolling, it's either not going to matter or not going to matter, because this is going to be a 20 or it's going to be a 1. This time it was a 14. Okay, so they do not understand you. They look at you, they see you, they recognize you. A look of like, you don't recognize them. To you, like your family certainly has Arcadian slaves, and you're known enough, both in terms of being a member of the rebellion and being a Chelish noble, that they know who you are. Matter of fact, they were probably sent here to get you. But they don't look particularly hostile. They just they're just backed into a corner.
That's a shame. I was trying to get them to surrender willingly so we can at least learn more of the situation on their end for us. I'll turn over.
Alright, Zaydu. At the top of your turn, I'm gonna roll 2 more d6. Okay, you guys can hear except for Xandu, because Xandu can't respond, you hear Emmy, like, she's still crying for Xandu at the top of her lungs, but it's punctuated by shivering now.
So,
as she shivers, almost in time with the shiver, Xandu kind of winks in and out of existence.
These guys, are they in a position where I could essentially, like, create a line that crosses both of them without crossing Emmy in the process?
Yeah, you could.
All right. I think I'm gonna literally massacre them.
As per the spell?
As per the spell.
Okay, sure. I have no idea what that does. I was waiting for you to give me a description.
Oh,
I imagine it hurts. I imagine it don't feel the best. Fort negates.
The way visibly rips the souls from the bodies of those it passes through, which manifests as screaming, transparent versions of the affected creatures. The wave kills every living creature of 17 or fewer hit dice in the line.
To a maximum of 1d4 hit dice of creatures per caster level. So roll 30d4.
Alright.
You literally would have to roll all ones to not obliterate them.
A massacre.
But you could. So we're gonna ask for it.
Massacre is a pretty powerful arcane spell.
Yeah,
it's also
on
the psychic list.
And the shaman.
Nice.
That's real good. Okay, yeah. So it's. Okay, so
that was 3.
so one of those wasn't a 1 is the point, and definitely I'm gonna let Xandu flavor that kill. Yeah, they're both very, very dead.
You know, I'm trying to think how to flavor this a little more psychically rather than just straight up necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
But this has some good flavor text with it. So what you guys sort of see is the souls just sort of like get stretched and torn out of the bodies. And they're just sort of like, you know, I can't flavor it better. It's the screaming souls being torn out of the bodies. That's
fair enough.
That's what I got.
And they are indeed rent asunder. That's a standard action for you. Do you have a move action? We're still on combat initiative.
Oh, I thought I had to move to get to a position where I could hit both of them.
Okay, fair enough. You moved then. And it goes to Francis. Xandu still looks really, really, really hostile. And it's like, in Xandu's head, it's kill the things that are harming Emmy. In this case, that was the Arcadians.
Okay.
So what's my next objective?
To just
still killing the Arcadians, I guess.
Yep, pretty much.
The Arcadians are dead.
Then fly to Arcadia.
Just teleport.
Teleport to Arcadia and then drop a Super Saiyan atomic.
You're a level 30 psychic manifestation. You can do whatever you want.
That's kind of accurate. So at the top of Francis's turn, like he's close enough to like this little girl is in the snow shivering.
I'm gonna go pick her up because I've proven once again that I'm a useless tit.
Hey.
So I'm.
You just rolled bad. You were rolling to hit a 23.
Constantly. Just a 2 and a 4 and a 2 and a 4 and a thumb up my butt.
Pretty much.
You got the rod curse again.
The curse of rod.
The rod came back around.
It did.
I'm gonna move over and pick up Emmy's body with my tendrils.
Sure. So there's
a whole lot of Francis to go around right now, and he does, I'm pretty sure, still generate body heat.
Okay, fair enough. So as Emmy's picked up out of the snow, she ceases to shiver, and Xandu kind of like snaps back into, like, he kind of ceases to exist as big, powerful Xandu, and it's almost as if time had like rewinded itself, and he stands there as normally himself. Let me get a will save from Lucia and Francis both.
Is this a will save I can succeed?
I mean, natural 20s happen. What do you add?
16.
You might succeed.
Oh.
Okay.
Third one of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fun. Okay, so you both fail.
Be the fourth one.
Wait.
Reroll don't pity me. Don't pity me.
We're coming up at the end of the night. We gotta use them.
You might as well.
Just let him kill me.
I went down twice during
Gugfest.
Yeah, so did Francis actually.
I almost died there, so you can have my hero point. It's fine. I think you gave me one anyway.
So a 32 fails.
32 fails. A 22 fails, but more importantly, that Arcadian doesn't twitch, and his dagger doesn't fly out of his hand in Francis's direction. So both Lucia and Francis have no memory of what just happened. Emmy's here, she's vulnerable. There's a couple of dead Arcadians. You guys remember up until about the point where Irondil... No, you don't remember Irondil even... Yeah, you would. You remember Irondil flying away. But that's it. That's all you remember. And somehow these guys are dead before you. And we are off combat initiative.
I finally got my AC as high as the rest of the parties, and combat's over.
So,
Xandu also doesn't remember.
You did say with that, that a lot dawned on me.
Xandu.
Now that I'm not, like, single focus, like, what dawned on me?
So you retain those powers for the rest of... No, get out. I had to say it.
Talk about a birthday gift.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
We're playing on your back. What do I... Xandu has my formal permission to watch the Battle of Fort Rannick, and Xandu is aware that he is not Xandu. He is not the Seer of Varizia. He is no one. He
Something different.
doesn't exist. He's not, like, the fact that he's here, the fact that he's standing seems to contradict almost like the laws of nature. He doesn't remember his name. He doesn't remember anything about his backstory, his past, his time in prison, his time with anybody in Varizia except for Emmy. He remembers that Emmy is very important. He remembers everything about Emmy that the character would know, except for the fact that, like, it's very important that she not come to harm.
He might even know things that he shouldn't know about him.
Nah, not quite. And presently, Emmy is in Francis's tendril arms.
He's kind of like coiled around her like a big cinnamon bun.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
High in
Tastes
fiber.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well,
It tastes like broccoli.
Yeah, Francis kind of tastes like broccoli.
Yes.
So, wow. I think Xandu is just as in shock as anybody right now. He's just sort of standing there quietly, very, very pensive, a little bit of a stern look on his face as he's trying to come to terms with what he's realized.
Lucia would go to Francis to see if he needs any help.
Now, Francis has Water Walk cast on him, so to get to him is to put yourself back in the snow. And this is around the time that the ghost of Yarva manifests himself again.
And throws up on you.
Yes, actually he does.
I cast a prestidigitation to clean it off and ask what does Yarva want.
He doesn't say anything.
Oh, so you're giving me the cold shoulder. Oh,
Such an asshole.
Yes.
Actually, he throws up a little more. You say cold shoulder, and he actually kind of like throws up onto his shoulder and like brushes it in your direction.
Okay, I clean it off using prestidigitation again.
Okay.
So, would Xandu know that the others would not remember?
No. As far as Lucia and Francis are concerned, there was a fight. They've won. The details are foggy at best.
But would Xandu know that they don't remember?
He would not.
Okay. He's gonna sort of look around at everyone.
I'm gonna
going to talk about what happened.
I'm gonna give, not to interrupt the roleplay, but Lucia does get that action point for wordplay that Pogue is nominating.
Nice. I
Then-
will definitely
then let
save
me
it for
Get out of the
save
way
it.
of the roleplay here.
Yeah. Are we just not going to talk about what happened?
About what would happen?
What do you mean, what happened?
Okay, hold on.
You were right there. You saw the whole thing.
I was distracted by my saltiness. What did I forget exactly?
You know there was a fight. You've killed a couple of Arcadians. You don't remember anything about what happened to Xandu. It's just
Okay.
like the middle parts of the battle are fuzzy.
They showed up. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but I guess, they've been tracking us this entire time, and they haven't been able to while we were underground, so I guess we sort of stuck ourselves out in the open here. And they showed up, and we won, I guess. I think. That seems to be what happened. We're not dead.
We should rendezvous back with everyone back at the igloo.
Xandu is going to look at Earendil, and Arendil, I'm assuming, is still with them.
They are not. They have flown very far away at this point. They are gone.
They GTO.
They got right up out of here.
And they left her behind, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Which direction did they fly in? Was it towards the Emporium?
They flew north. Which is not, like, the Emporium's, like, southeast of you. They've taken off in the north.
See you later, sucker!
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I suppose this is worth a shot, but would I need a sense motive to know if they're going to be back or not?
A sense motive would track, yeah.
Yeah. 16.
You're not sure. Maybe. It's possible that Earendil might want to come back to the Kobold to get his stuff, but most of his stuff is burned now. It's also like, why would he come back? Nowhere's really safe. If he's flying north, he's flying in the direction of Taldor, which might mean he's trying to meet up with the rest of the rebellion. It might mean he's just picked a cardinal direction and is trying to get away from things. Very unclear.
I suppose what Xandu's going to do is he'll look at Lucia. Now might be a good time to check on the Necronomicon if that's what you wanted to do.
Yes, we should at least read it to see if we can learn anything from the book. At the very least, I do not know if Arendil took the book or not. I'm going to get the two names mixed up.
You are referring to his neutral good koala familiar.
Arendil, why must they to have a familiar name? So
literally just to mess with you. Haha!
Yes.
Think of it this way.
Here's how you remember it. Earendil is the elf with the ears.
Yeah, ear. There you go.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go to the Emporium to see if Arendil have taken the book or not.
All right, kids, are we moving by teleport or are we walking?
Do we want to take? Do we want to go back to the igloo to get everyone?
Would you like to get the rest of your friends first? I suppose Lucia might be a little worried about her dragon at this point. It's been a while.
They've been dismantling that thing for the past half hour.
Yeah.
And since they've been in combat, they will also get experience. It's just going to be weird.
Has gotten bored eventually, and he started practicing dance moves with Poe.
Yeah. So the so the experience of it, if you do give it out, it would be a CR.
A CR, you don't know? Oh no, for the dragon you mean? No, I know what the experience is.
A creature CR.
Like, you don't know the Knife Master Scouts class levels.
No. The combat fight. If you do give XP for that, it would be CR 11 experience.
Yeah, I'm not giving the experience for the.
And probably at first was having fun, quote unquote, competing with Kazaa. But as time goes on, now he's just quiet and just killing the dragon over and over again.
So,
yeah, it's about that point where it stopped being fun that Kazuha would have started practice dancing with Poe.
That's fair.
All right.
Before you guys leave,
are we going back then?
Lucia would definitely know, and it probably dawns on both Xandu and Francis that this isn't going to be the last time the Holy Chelish Empire drops in on you. They certainly have a very easy ability. They can't scry Xandu. Xandu's got a mind blank. But Lucia is very familiar to a lot of people in the Empire in such a way that, like, mechanically, that's a low DC. You guys can expect this on a kind of regular basis while you're where you can be scried.
Should have brought that lead shield with us, I'm telling you.
So...
No, I mean, we could go back for it.
Zandu is going to... He's going to ask Francis to bring Emmy and his blanket back to him. And he will offer to go to the Emporium and pick up the Necronomicon along with anything that Irandil might not miss.
Okay.
Well, I'll go with you, and I'm not sure. What are you gonna carry her?
You guys can both tell that Emmy is right about to die of frostbite. Well, not die of frostbite, but like frostbite has set in. She is about to die from exposure.
So
Her time in the snow was pretty rough.
Yeah, we're gonna
good.
double burrito her because I'm enormous, and we gotta get that blanket.
If
back.
that's the case, Zandu will spend another teleport to get back to the Emporium, and hopefully the fire's still going, or at least close enough to going that we can get it back up.
Sure. Alrighty. Roll them percentage dice.
All right. Six.
You resolve. Good thing it's high, not low.
Yeah, right.
You guys make it back to the Emporium. By the time you make it back, Emmy has passed back out, possibly from pain, possibly from... Actually, never mind. No one would have any memory of Emmy waking up at all. But she's passed out for the players. You guys make it back to the Emporium.
Zandu would remember.
That's fair. Yeah, Xander would remember. And I'm going to throw some percentage dice down to see what kind of gear might be left. A 48. Yeah, okay, so there's not really a whole lot of stuff of value left in the Emporium. Perhaps, like, the odd Cure Moderate Wounds potion, but most of the stuff, and it's especially painful, I imagine, to, like, Lucia, to look down, and there's a scroll of, like, mass harm that's almost burned to death.
I didn't know if, I didn't realize Lucia was coming with. She wanted to go back to the igloo.
To give you content with Lucia's mind and her expression. Picture what would be a Shaylin expression if they went to a art gallery and see every single piece of art destroyed, burnt, or sabotaged effectively.
Yeah, that's what's going on. A lot of very powerful, almost artifact level equipment.
Lucia is trying to calm herself down and focus on why they came here and get out here quickly. She doesn't like seeing burnt items that are magical of nature.
Zandu, is the fire still?
Yeah.
Are there still embers at least?
The fire's still going, but it looks like pretty much... Well, you guys could hold out here for a little while burning, like, blank scroll paper, bits of bookshelf, things of that nature. But
the idea is just to warm her back up and then
okay.
Get out of there.
Got it. So mechanically, that would remove the non-lethal damage. It does not remove the cold damage. So she has 14 cold damage on her. She has 2 cold damage on her from a Cure Light Wounds for 12.
She has how much left?
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
That's not too bad. I don't know what level she is mechanically in this world, but I'm hoping it's not too bad.
That's fair. You guys are able to find the Necronomicon. Zandu probably knows right where it is.
As Zandu, when you're done reading the book, I'm going to let you hold on to the book. I trust you to keep it safe.
When you're done reading that, hey man, you can keep it. It's not mine to give.
I am keeping my promise. I wouldn't take it. I have a trusted party member to hold on to it in case if Arendelle comes back, I can just simply say, Zandu have it if you need it.
If the guy who owns the book comes back, I can tell him exactly who took it. I've got a trusted party. I'm just giving you shit. Okay, so
the other thing
when you pick up the Necronomicon, it kind of, because I think we established it's like the Care of Magical Creatures books from Harry Potter, in the fact that it's a living book. It's real scary, but it kind of huddles up next to you for warmth. It would be cute if you didn't know what it was.
Yeah. The last thing Zandu wants to grab, besides just miscellaneous stuff, is one, the crap ton of blankets Emmy was covered in.
Okay.
Before we teleported out.
You were able to do so.
And two, the hidden virtue divination stick he left with her.
Sure. Alrighty. Are we heading back to the rest of the squad now?
Yeah. Zandu thinks it might be beneficial to teleport.
It's a long walk.
Yeah. And who knows who else is out there.
Fair enough.
So how many teleportations can you do for the day?
Zandu's teleported twice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have 2 more that I can do total.
I prepared teleport so I could teleport us back.
Okay, who casts it?
Do you?
Doesn't matter. Zandu will let Lucia cast it because he's sort of worn out, I guess.
Okay, so 79 still. That actually might. That's a little high. That might fall within bad times for you.
Wait, I thought I was going to roll it.
I rolled it. However, you're still fine. You're probably at least at scene casually.
I mean,
oh yeah, we've been
for
to the igloo.
For the inside of the palace that we've been sleeping in for several days?
Yeah, you're there. You're fine. Yeah. The party members that have left return to the rest of the party along with Emmy. This is the part where I note that no one looted the body of the Minkanian woman or the Knife Masters.
God,
in spite of what Pogue was yelling at you,
yelling into the void.
Yeah, I'm fighting this dragon. You guys are dancing around as Pogue is yelling, "Loot the bodies! Loot the bodies!"
Yeah.
To be fair to Poe, he's a bard. He probably knows a song that has that in the lyrics.
Everybody loot now!
Loot that body on me.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
It rhymes quite nicely with "shake that booty."
I mean, we could always go back.
That was the song I was singing.
Sure. I mean, we on the way back before teleporting, we could loot the bodies if we wanted to.
Right, because there's no snowstorm going on or anything.
Yeah, it's not like they're in the middle of the snow instead of just like... You know, since Zandu remembers the fight, I'm going to go ahead and try a Knowledge Arcana check to see why they were able to walk on the snow.
Okay, sure.
I am going to roll as well.
They might have been doing it the way I was doing it.
30.
Alright, waiting on Lucia.
That one's.
Okay, so Lucia knows there's a million ways that this might happen. Something like water walk, something like maybe even freedom of movement. Yeah, freedom of movement would work.
Yeah, freedom of movement
also,
freedom of movement or one of the variation of the walk spells would do this.
That would also do it, but Zandu is a little farther up, at least as far as the Hell Knight is concerned. He hasn't seen it in a while, but he remembers having to fend off a bunch of Hell Knights. Actually, no, he doesn't. He does not remember that. He has lost his... I need to remember he does not have those memories anymore. He gets a little flash of psychic insight, and he realizes the Hell Knight, and a lot of Hell Knights for that matter, have fly cast on themselves permanently, and he's bluffing walking. It's sort of like an intimidation tactic to make him look like he's above the snow or above like any other kind of whatever obstacle he would need to traverse with the fly spell, because the layman is not going to know that. And he's going to assume that, like, a servant of Asmodeus, or in this case, Sarenrae, has come for them. The others, you're not sure. They were able to be targeted by Hungry Earth.
Still contests their loyalty to Sarenrae. Still contested.
You're not exactly sure what the others had cast on him. It was probably something like water. It wasn't freedom of movement. You can definitely rule that out.
Yeah. So, I suppose Zandu, when he gets back, I mean, there's always the option to go loot the bodies, but that's not really the safest option right now. So he's gonna sort of look at everyone and say, "It's not really safe here anymore. We've been found."
I wasn't safe here to begin with.
Can I, before we roleplay a little farther, I would like a sense motive from Kazuha.
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay. Sense motive.
Yeah.
Zandu might just cast a message on him and let him know that they need to talk later.
Let's see how that sense motive resolves first, though. It didn't! You typed roll instead of R. And it is an apostrophe, not a slashy. Slashy, what am I, 12? 12 and into horror movies.
Also works.
Ah, fair enough.
19.
Okay, so at 19, you're pretty sure that Zandu knows something's up with himself. That tracks along the lines of, like, what you saw in the Emporium. It's reinforced by the fact that Emmy is now with you guys.
Well, Kazuha would stop doing the dancing lights over the snow disco ball that he and Pogue made. And look more seriously at Zandu. Not say anything, but kind of share a knowing glance, like conversation will happen.
Zandu will cast a message at him. And say, the others don't know. They don't have any memory of what happened.
He would think back, but you do.
Yes, so I seem to have lost a lot of other memories in the process. Not that they were mine to begin with.
He wouldn't respond thought-wise to that, but he would maintain eye contact for a little bit, and then go back to talking with Poe.
Yeah, that's
feigning, you know, Pogue, now we're going to have another spot for this fox girl, and it's going to have to have another blanket, and all of that's going to have to work.
Oh, and Zandu sort of pulls out the big bag of blankets that I'm assuming, however he carried them, he's got a whole bunch of them from the Emporium.
Okay, fair enough. They're probably just bundled in your arms, because I'd like thrown over your shoulders and over your head, because I mean, it's cold, why not?
I would imagine we would have had folded the blankets in a very efficient way for us to carry most or everything on one.
I don't think Zandu would have taken that kind of time unless it took that long for Emmy to warm up.
So the blankets that Lucia's carrying are very nice and efficiently folded, whereas Zandu just has a big old pile of blankets.
I mean, I'm playing up my character.
No, you're not wrong.
Perfectionist, a character flaw.
Yeah, no, I get it. Zandu does not care. He just wanted to get in, get out, and get going.
Yeah, so long as we got all of them.
Would Zandu know that it's possible that allies would know where we're at as well?
Yeah, that tracks. Actually, you get the feeling that Tien Woman was probably looking for you guys. It's just...
what was that kill you in the first round by breaking your neck spell that Hell Knight cast? Because I'd like to get my hands on that.
You can make a knowledge check.
It's called a force choke. he learned it from a book called The Dar of Vader.
It's called bullshit.
That spell exists. Bullshit also exists. But what I'm saying is, like, the Darth Vader thing exists. It's called Suffocate.
Yeah, suffocate, it would be, or one of the variations of it, of that type of.
Lucia and Xandu can also roll. They were there. They witnessed it.
Xandu did not witness it because he did not make the perception check.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
right. Neither did Lucia. Never mind. Only Francis can roll this. Only Francis can try to figure it out.
Like,
how's your spellcraft?
Xandu saw daggers in
much better.
You can try
in
spellcraft.
Francis's neck, but that's about it.
31.
And get a +4.
That's one off from a natural 20.
That is. So it dawns on Francis.
35.
Francis didn't see it. Francis didn't see it because he was unable to see it at the time. But you get the feeling that a lot of spells were cast on her at once. Something along the lines of hold person, then telekinesis to coup de grace. It's like you can confirm there was more than one caster present there. They were just concealing themselves. Does Francis say any of this out loud, by the by?
Yes.
Okay, so...
No.
No?
No, I have a very high wisdom score.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, never mind.
Kane maybe not so high, but Francis very smart. Let me double check if invisibility purge the smell I have. Fuck.
I'll take that as a no.
We don't even have a person with a class that casts off that list.
Boom.
Which class?
I'm guessing the
Oracle
cleric.
Inquisitor.
Yeah. And it probably doesn't have the evil descriptor or be a necromancer
Does not.
spell. Seems like divination.
That's weird. You'd think that a wizard would be able to do invisibility purge.
Right?
Yeah.
You would think.
Well, see invisibility.
See invisibility is on the wizard list, I think. I'm so surprised that half of the cleric spells is not on the wizard list.
Well, I'm kind of like, why does a druid not have a? How does a druid see invisible things? It seems like that seems like a weird blind spot in there.
You'd have like tremor sense.
Especially with all the fae.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, but everything Tommy throws at us fucking flies.
I'm smart. Tremor sense is bad.
I do have tremor sense though.
You'd have scent as well most of the time.
Uh,
You might not, but like the
I
average
don't know if
druid.
plants get scent.
Yeah.
I do have tremor sense though. If they are standing on the ground.
You can detect them.
Oh, then wouldn't he know that the Hell Knight was not standing on the ground?
He didn't have line of sight to the Hell Knight when he cast it.
Also wasn't super
Wouldn't he
important in the
also-
moment.
Yeah, true.
Wouldn't he also, as this occurs to him, notice any extra footsteps?
That tracks. He does not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would, but that requires them to be on the ground. Theoretically, I could wait for
They
the
have to
fly
land
spell to run
eventually.
out, because my wild shape lasts for hours per level, whereas fly lasts for minutes.
Yeah.
Might go out anytime.
I'm still wild shape, so I actually couldn't have blurted that out loud.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless it's permanency, like so many things seem to be. These people have a lot of cash to throw around, I guess.
You know, you guys know that I can't talk, so I'm gonna gesture somehow to like one of the people who I know who can cast message. I'm gonna look at Colin and like gesture at his mouth with his tendrils, and then like touch Colin or touch Xandu.
Man, I want to almost call a sense motive check, but I won't. Francis is a little traumatized right now.
Francis E. Xandu.
Xandu, he'll cast message on Francis.
Don't look around. but there's probably other people in the room with us. Can you see invisible things? Or things that are hidden?
You know, Zandu does not have see invisibility.
Or sense thoughts of sentient creatures.
Oh yeah, that would work. That would work.
Thank you. That's the metagaming pigeon.
Technically, you have to. Metagaming isn't that bad in a group, considering that technically some of the PCs in that group are supposed to have genius level intellect.
Also, you guys would have a basic knowledge of what everyone does.
I'm not giving you shit for metagaming. I'm just saying that's something that Zandu would have
Instead,
thought
we are
at
helped by the metagame monkey.
Yeah.
It's like the phonics monkey.
The metagame snow macaque.
So, yeah, Zandu will cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. You detect the party. You don't detect anyone else.
Alright, that's good.
But that doesn't mean shit. Everyone we fight has...
Their mind blanked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, everyone we fight has unlimited resources.
Says the metagaming burn.
Yeah, except Kazaha. Everybody has unlimited resources.
What if you guys had looted that TN woman who might have had the big 6 and might have been brought back just to help Kazaha catch up?
No.
She died in vain!
She also has an interdimensional merchant in her pocket.
So that everybody can get caught up.
Zandu will relay on to Francis that if there is anybody nearby, that they are mind blanked.
Well, we can't be certain, but I'm pretty sure there were additional spellcasters with that Hell Knight.
Zandu,
they might have to land eventually, and if they do, I'll know they're here, but until then, finding a discreet, and I do mean discreet, way of locating them sounds very important.
Would Lucia's dragon have life sense for sight?
No.
Can I smell someone?
You cannot.
What about that?
You think you would. The wind is blowing in a lot of different directions, and you'd pick them up.
I don't scent.
We're inside. I hope the wind is blowing.
Scent, unless a creature say it have it in the stat block, most creatures don't have that by default.
But Enterling does.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about whether I'd be able to pick up, smell someone else in the room.
No, in this universe, deodorant doesn't exist. So.
Oh, it doesn't.
It does not, Adam.
Oh,
no.
That's
an legitimate thing. That is a legitimate thing.
Actually, deodorant exists, but it's it's just Axe body spray. That's all you have. You're very pungent. People with scent will detect you. Don't ask me who my mother is.
There's a 14-year-old boy in the room.
No, don't worry, Tommy. The next game, I'll figure out a way to use that against you. I'm just gonna reek of it so hard.
Cashew against Artarian? How?
Yeah, just pass out.
Well, Cashew probably smells bad anyway.
Well, you do know that creatures with scent take negatives for scent-based nausea, right?
Yeah, that is a thing.
Bench abilities.
Yeah.
Just make me fight giant skunks forever.
Scent-based nausea?
Giant skunks.
Like the ghoul, I'm meaning.
Or trogs.
And Lacedons and troglodytes. Their stench ability is extra effective against things with scent.
It is. That's what happened to Enterling when you guys were in the Darklands.
Anywho,
what's going on now?
Zandu, I think both Zandu and Francis are pretty smart. I don't think like they'd realize that Enderling would be able to smell somebody most likely if they were there.
Mm.
But he did mention that there were multiple spellcasters possibly.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, if it was like spellcasters who were just like invisible and flying, or was it part of that crazy demon fruit that he ate? Demon spears or something. I wonder if the Necronomicon would have anything about that.
Let's have a look inside. What does the book have?
Okay.
So Zandu's going to be looking through the book for that fruit from Abaddon and
Yeah, I would.
what it could possibly do.
I would be doing the same with Zandu close.
Okay, so
close by.
Lucia needs to make a will save. She gets a little too close to the book, and the book doesn't want her that close. It looks at her. It looks at her with those. No, it's bonded to Zan. There's an extra 20. Okay, never mind. So it
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so the Necronomicon, as Lucy gets a little close, it's like its Cthulhu-y eyes glare at her and then begins to bore into her mind, and then it lunges at her as a puppy would to a human that it wants to play with, and it just kind of latches itself, not painfully, around your shoulder and starts purring. It's awkward. The spine of the book ripples a little bit. So that natural 20 also indicates that Zandu doesn't need to make some kind of check to convince the Necronomicon to open. You guys could spend a lot of time reading this and even longer trying to decipher what it is that you've read. That's the nature of this book. But you're certainly welcome to try. I'm saying in terms of, like, we're not going to break down the rules for, like, fighting a library in Pathfinder that exists with, like KP or something like that. I've seen them. They're kind of cool. But what I'm saying is we're talking over several days. Lots of skill checks, lots of skill challenges as you try to comprehend madness.
And I was hoping that it'd just flip to the page about the fruit as soon as I opened it.
It did not.
Okay.
It just didn't
More
try to
interested in
destroy
purring.
Lucia.
Yeah, it's more interested in Lucia right now than helping me find what I'm looking for.
Let's look up if the book have any hints or direction for us to go. How to save the world?
Again, this will take several days.
And
require several checks.
Where are we gonna go?
Yeah.
Also, have we eaten today?
No, you haven't. Now that you
bountiful banquet.
Now that you mention it, you guys are out of what little food that was found in the palace. Food and survival becomes relevant again until Francis uses magic.
Yep.
Thanks, Fullcaster.
I can't magic my way out of this dumbass fucking winter wonderland, but I can definitely feed us.
There you go.
Hmm.
So I guess the final question before we call it a night tonight, guys, is what's the next move?
We are the Hell Knights and other factions know where we are, so the idea I have in mind is for us to go through the Dark Lands again, so teleport back to the Dwarven city and then go north where we were going to go originally with that plan.
Okay.
Yeah, at least going north to the Grove, it's a beginning step of a bigger plan, but that's my idea.
Well, going to the dwarves might be a good idea. Not necessarily the Dwarven city, but the Dwarven strongholds where dwarves actually live still.
Good idea. Going to the dwarves would probably be more beneficial, and maybe we will encounter hint merchants.
Yeah, no, don't hint me. Hint me, you'll never find a merchant again.
But the thing is that we need allies. People are looking for us, both bad and good, and if we want to get more good than bad, we need to be somewhere where we have protection.
That tracks.
But I think before we part, I'm going to knowledge Arcana to see if I know anything about that fruit based off of what Francis said.
Sure. Okay.
If it could do something like that.
Can I roll as well for that, or will I not have no passing knowledge of what it is?
You can.
Zandu is not sharing this. He's trying to be discreet.
Okay, in that case, you know what you already know pretty much.
Unfortunately,
you eat it and it kills you and you become a div, or you eat it and you transcend it and you gain the power of the lower planes, essentially. Like, you get the feeling that Hell Knight could have killed you guys pretty easily. He just felt supremely confident, yeah, also competent, but what I'm trying to say is confident up until the point where he disappeared.
Ah, you're all suddenly back. I had to restart my internet.
Did you not catch anything I said?
Nope.
Alright, so you don't know anything other than what you already know. Eat the fruit of Abaddon, and it consumes you, and your soul, in the span of a couple seconds, becomes a div. Or eat it, transcend it, gain the powers of the lower planes. You assume that Hell Knight who has eaten the fruit of Abaddon and survived could have killed you very easily, but the supreme confidence of his power led him to just kind of watch as what he assumed was going to be a really easy fight, and then he ran away, leaving his slaves to be obliterated.
Yeah, that's definitely relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for now.
Okay.
So Zandu, make note on your character sheet. You have the Necronomicon.
I think he's gonna remember just fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna forget.
He might forget where you have a session sometimes, but he won't forget a powerful book. But thank you for GMing for me. Anywho, anybody have any idea about the direction, where they want to go, what they want to do before we call it night?
I mean, like Zandu said, go to the city of the dwarves, possibly find some allies.
Okay.
Or some protection.
Anybody else?
That's the best idea we've got so far.
It's that or head towards the equator.
So everyone agrees we're going to the dwarves.
Okay, understood. In that case, we'll go ahead, Adam.
I think it would be good for everybody to kind of also discuss amongst ourselves, not necessarily on, but off the recording, because it might take a bit. What exactly are we getting allies to do?
I mean, I have one thought on that, and it's real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
That is, we are looking for allies so that we know what's going on, so that we can decide what to do.
You also will need a place to stash Annie, otherwise somebody's carrying her in combat.
Yes.
It's like having an animal companion, except they can't defend you and is very weak.
We can always just stuff her in the bag during combat.
Just everyone, use all your standard actions now. Get in the bag.
Combat only lasted like a minute, so
yeah, she could totally survive.
Die.
I mean, if we put...
I mean, it's not cold inside a bag of holding.
If we really wanted to, we could put her in a bag of holding and then cast bubble, or one of those bubble spells that give her a certain time to breathe in the bag of holding until combat is over.
That's still
fair.
a waste of 2 rounds, and depending on how long combat lasts.
Those can be 2 very brutal rounds.
If the spell lasts for hours per level, just do it at the beginning of the day.
That's fair. All right, so since we seem to have a plan, this is where I'm going to call it for the night. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Go check out the Interplanar Crossroads, or we cannot be friends. And we'll see you next time. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.